I'm Bruce Buffer. It's time for the Anthony Gorgano Show!
Live from the Xfinity Studio. Good morning. Good morning. Happy New Year. Happy 2026. Wow, lots to get to. Hope everybody had a great holiday season. It's now time for NFL business. Time for the playoffs, Eagles and Niners. But before we get to that, let's go through yesterday. A gigantic mistake in my eyes in not playing the starters. First of all, you have to go after the 2 seed. We talked about it earlier last week. I wanted to play. Hey, you wanted to rest Carter? Okay. You wanted to rest Cam Jurgens? Okay. That's it. Everybody plays. They're coming off a game in Buffalo where they didn't get a first down the entire second half. Like, you got to go into the playoffs, especially against a Niners team, having felt good about your offense. The last time they played, they go, oh, yeah, we didn't get a first down for the entire second half. It's not good. Look, they had a late bye. It was in November. They had the Friday, Black Friday game, and then the Monday mini bye. Look, I know a couple guys could use the rest and all. I get it. But look around the league yesterday. Other than the Chargers, everybody played. Like, you got to play. You can't play scared. Something's going to happen. You got to get into a rhythm. You got to play it. I thought it was a mistake. I thought it was a mistake going in. I still think it's a mistake. And it's a killer because you could have had the Packers. You could have been the 2 seed. You could have had a chance for a home playoff game, another home playoff game. Who knows? We saw it play out last year, where the Lions were the 1 seed, you were the 2 seed, and you wound up getting a championship, NFC championship game. I don't like it. I don't like Sirianni's approach, and I hated the game plan yesterday. Ew. So let me ask you guys a question. Ted Bigsby is running very well yesterday. So let's think about this. He finished the game with 75 yards on 16 carries, averaging almost 5 a clip. And he's a ghost in the fourth quarter. Ghost. What are you doing? They made Tanner McKee throw 40 times behind a line that had a guy from the practice squad on it. What sense does that make? I just don't understand it. You know, every time they threw it, I wanted to run it. Every time they ran it, I wanted to throw it. That was it, like, in my head as I'm watching the game. When I think back to it, I'm like, geez, what are you doing throwing here? It's 2nd and 4. Go to the first drive in the fourth quarter. Game's tied, 17. It's 2nd and 4. You're at where you're at. 2nd and 4 at your 41-yard line. Begging for a nice tank run. Incomplete. Then on the drive where you're trying to tie the game, it's 3rd and 3 at the Washington 31. They go deep to Darius Cooper. What? What sense? Some of the stuff made no sense. And I know they wanted to get Tanner out there and showcase Tanner. What are you doing? You still got a bagged up or an inexperienced offensive line. You're throwing to nobody. What are you trying to prove? I hated that game yesterday. I hated it. Now, I wanted the Packers. You can get Green Bay in here with no Micah Parsons and Jordan Love, who you've handled before. Now you got Shanahan. Now, Eagles are a 3.5-point favorite. They should win the game. The Niners' defense is woeful, all right? The Niners, they are a banged-up bunch. You see it right here, right? No Bosa, no Warner, no Barch, right, on the line. Look at that, right? That's big. Trent Williams is probably going to play, and so is Pearsall. They missed the game the other night. But, you know, that defense is a shell of itself. I've watched them the last month. And whoever they played, whether it be San Francisco, whether it be Chicago, had a lot of success. A lot of success going down the field on them. Had their way. Seattle, you just had their way. I mean, Darnold, they left points on the field, a ton of it, Saturday night. Seattle left a ton of points, and that was Darnold. This Eagles offense, as bad and as ugly as it has looked, should be able to move the ball and score. You should be able to get to 23 against that team. And then it's up to your defense, right? We know that any kind of run that's going to happen this January has to come from the hands of the defense. It's got to be pulled from the defense. This defense has to create havoc, and I feel good about that, right? I love this defense. Forget about yesterday and Kaylee Ringo, Ja'Cory and Bennett, and all the pass interference penalties, and 39-year-old Josh Johnson go like this, and Ringo looking at the girl in the stands like, forget about it, all right? Starters are back. Everybody's back. Go after Purdy. I mean, look, you know, I'd rather have the Packers, but because there is a Shanahan effect, and I do believe Shanahan's good. But again, you get to 24, you should win. Vic's defense is not one that's going to give up a ton of points. So to me, you get to 23, 24 points. That's what you got to do. And you can win a game. Now, it's not going to be cold. I wish it was going to be cold with Purdy out there. It's going to be warm. I talked to my buddy. My buddy runs the sports station out there, Matt Nahagian. And he went, the Brockster's coming for you. Get the hell out of here, the Brockster. This got to be a Carter, Ojimo, BG, Phillips, Jalix, who had himself a game yesterday. It's got to be that, all right? And offensively, again, you got a team that is not good defensively. You got to get to 23, 24. I have so little faith in Patullo. I do. The way their offense is, it's just ugly. Especially when you watch other teams play offense, and then you watch the Eagles. You just cringe sometimes. I'm just praying that they can get together, run heavy, get Jalen under center, get Jalen out in the run game, all right? And you should be able to score and move the ball against this Niners defense. Good morning, VG. Happy New Year.
Happy New Year. I hate it this weekend.
Yeah, I know. I did too.
Here's what bugs me, man. Like, there's something about, they're just scared. They're scared of the tush push. They're scared of turnovers. They're scared of injuries. I actually think they were scared of the Commanders. I actually believe Nick mouthed off with that 2-point conversion and was like, yeah, Dan Quinn, he's like, we'll remember this. And that, I think that weighed into it too a little bit. Like, they're going to take shots at you because of that 2-point conversion. That was dumb. Just, I don't like winning scared and playing scared. I know they win, but there's something weird about it. It doesn't feel right. It doesn't feel is good. Last year felt great winning. And I feel like they also had, like, maybe if they're not scared, I don't know, are they scared or is it just arrogance? Is it like, oh, we don't need the 2 seed or we're better, we'll beat you with our backups? That also was flawed logic. I don't know what the thinking was. They're either scared or they're arrogant. I don't like either one.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I agree with you. Usually you and I will kind of butt heads here. I'm with you. I don't like where Sirianni's head is. Sirianni sometimes, he does things for bravado that I just think are ridiculously stupid, like are unnecessary.
Yeah, I agree.
Again, I like the guy and I want to love him, but there's an air of incompetence about him. Despite his record, despite everything else, his feel sometimes is off. Like he doesn't have a right feel. He'll be overly aggressive on stuff that I look at and go, why? And then when times he should be aggressive, he turtles up.
I also it can't all be on him, can it? This has to be a Jeff and Howie collaborative decision.
No.
They can't be like, yo, we want to play the starters. They have to sign off on it, don't they?
I believe, and from what I was told or heard, that was a Nick decision. And it was not overruled by Howie or Jeffrey, that they're going to let the coach who has the pulse of the line, and they shouldn't.
Right.
You know, like, listen, is it a hey, if I'm Howie, I go, Nick, what do you think?
Don't you think they have numbers?
What do you think? Forget numbers. That's not about numbers. It's about feel.
But, I mean, there's numbers. The number of 3 seeds who make the Super Bowl is minimal compared to the 2 seeds who make the Super Bowl.
Well, it's changed in the last 7 years. Since they went to a 17 the last 5 years.
Yeah.
There's been a 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5.
No, but, Dr. Dane is.
Yeah, but
in the last 50 years, there's only 5 3 seeds.
But the format's changed. Over the last 5, before the 2 seed had a bye. The 2 seed doesn't have a bye anymore.
No, but, yeah, so
the last 5 years, when they changed it, where the 2 seed does not get a bye,
yes,
a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 seed has made the playoffs.
Yes, the only 3 seed is Mahomes and KC.
Okay, but I'm saying there's a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I get it, but I'm saying the home field advantage.
I don't believe in it.
The 1 and 2.
All due respect to the doctor, I don't believe in the numbers. It's about your feel. Like, you and I agree, but we're coming to the conclusion differently. Like, I don't care about that.
You don't care about the home field throughout? Like, if Seattle gets knocked off, we say they really could.
Yeah, that's part of my equation.
Yeah.
But it's not about whether or not which seeds in the past. It's about right now. What do my eyes tell me? What does my gut tell me about this team? Yeah. I wanted the 2 seed for a number of reasons.
Right.
1, I get Green Bay. Well, 1, I'm 1 loss of the 1 seed away from having home field throughout.
Which we saw that play out last year.
Right. 2, the Packers.
Yeah.
All right. And then 3, I think this team needed to feel good about itself offensively.
Maybe 1 completion. Play them the first half. Get a couple completions because we just saw them go a whole half with no completions.
Here's my issue. Is I look around football yesterday, and mostly everybody played.
Everybody played except for the Chargers.
Yeah. And the Texans rested a couple guys.
Well, the Dolphins too.
Well,
what the hell are the Dolphins resting people?
Yeah. Well, but when you look around the league yesterday, those guys played.
I know.
Like you got there. This team isn't good enough. Isn't playing well enough to rest.
I'm 100% with you on this.
This
I was miserable about it yesterday.
It's disjointed. It still has not been right all year. There's been terrible spells. But again, you're coming off a Buffalo game where you didn't get a first down in the second half. Like, come on. What are we doing here?
Not 1 completion. That's crazy.
I got to tell you,
I think yesterday I actually showed too, like there's been talk about, the quarterback this. It was the same crappy stuff we saw. Route tree stink. Play calling stinks. Tank goes not only 17 minutes. Last 17 minutes, he doesn't touch the ball.
Did you hear my opening?
Yeah, I'm adding to it. You said the fourth quarter. Yeah. There's 2 minutes into the third quarter.
Yeah.
It's 17 minutes.
Yeah. Like,
they go 5 of 14. He's got a backup line. He's playing in front. Tyler's running for his life. He's not that fast.
You got a kid that was on the practice squad playing tackle. Like, what are you doing?
Right.
You're going to throw him 40 times?
Yeah.
And some of the calls too, like it's 3rd and 4, like you're trying to tie the game, and it's 3rd and 4, and you're going deep to Cooper.
Well, they had 3rd and 2 and 4th and 2. They passed it both times. Rome's in the chat. Rome V55. Imagine if a starter went down. You know, he'd be a fool for not sitting starters.
Listen,
I don't think you can play like that.
Game, man. Rome, love you. I don't play that game. Like, if the starter went down, I'm not here this morning going, you shouldn't have played them. I wanted to play them before, and you can't play scared. I'm sorry. You cannot play scared.
Yeah, that's what I think they're doing.
The only way you rest is if you have the 1 seed locked up and you're entrenched. That's it. And you're one of those teams that are just gearing up for the playoffs. I completely disagree with that playing scared idea. Oh no, what if an injury? What if that? No, it doesn't work. You got to play. You got to play and you got to feel good about yourself.
Especially on the offense. They're actually going into the playoffs. They don't have an identity on offense right now. They still don't know who they are.
Still identity. Yours identity. Don't turn the ball over.
Right. That is it.
Their identity, they haven't had one all year.
Right.
And again, going into this matchup, you should be able to move the ball.
I know that you move the ball against the Niners, but they play well in the red zone. They're kind of stingy with points. I mean, they give up the 12th fewest points in football, that defense. You can move the ball on them.
No, it's different over the last month.
You gave me a real the last month.
The last month. Like I said, again, you can't look at they gave up the
They gave up 13 points to the Seahawks.
And they left a slew of points on the field if you watch the game.
I watched the game, but they still scored 13 points.
Because they gave up, they left them on the field. Stop with the bet, but they gave up the 12 fewest points.
They're not a cakewalk. I don't think
they should be able to move the ball.
I agree.
Watch teams go up and down the field on them.
They give up a ton of yards. I agree.
The Rams, you got to be able to move the ball on them.
You're naming two teams that go deep and move the ball in the air quite efficiently.
Again, their secondary is their issue. All right.
Yeah, we also found out yesterday the Eagles
Thank you, Tyler.
One secondary issue.
The Bears scored 38. The Colts, was that Rivers? Man Rivers?
Yes, it was Rivers.
Yes, I thought so. And the Titans, 24.
The Titans are a powerful offense.
I mean, you got to move the ball, this team, man. I mean, jeez. God. You can't squander opportunities. I feel like this year, they're fumbling it.
Oh, you had the Packers sitting there. The Packers are just, I don't know how they're favored against the Bears, but the Packers look like they're just waiting to get knocked out.
So the line, I saw the line. I was looking at matchups, and I don't know if this was right or not, but it was like ESPN, and it said the Bears are 1.5. Then it flipped where Green Bay's the favorite.
Oh, so right now on Bet Parks, Bears are -1.
Okay.
It's a pick'em game. What?
I'm surprised.
Yeah. I'm shocked. I mean, I figured it'd be 4 or 4.5.
Because I look at Green Bay, and again, without Micah, their defense lost a lot of teeth.
And their offense hasn't been the same.
No. Not at all. I wanted Green Bay.
Yeah.
Because I think you win.
Green Bay here, forget it.
I think you win at 13-6, 16-10.
Oh, jeez, don't tell me. We got to be putting up 20 points.
But listen, Shanahan's going to score. Mm-hmm. He's going to put up, I got to believe he puts up 17.
I would think so. I think 20 is the number.
I said 23. I think you got to get to 23. Because I can see the Eagles holding them to 20.
Okay.
All right? Because I got faith in the defense, right?
Yeah.
Man, I am nervous, though. This is not like it was the championship game when they're coming in.
Last year, I was predicting they're steamrolling everybody. I don't feel, and last we saw the Niners, they looked terrible, but that was their third game in 13 days. They're missing, Trent Williams. It's a big miss. He'll be back. So I just hope. I think the Eagles win. I hope it's a shootout. I would like that.
Shootout.
Yeah,
shootout.
A shootout with the Niners would be great.
Are you kidding me? Shootout.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping for.
No, I'm not. I there's no way there's going to be a shootout. I want the front to eat.
Yes.
And harass Purdy. Look what Seattle did to that offense last week. Saturday night.
Well,
the Seattle defense, and the Eagles' defense are very similar, except Seattle's better in the secondary, and the Eagles are better in their front seven.
Yeah, I just
The
think,
Eagles should be able to do.
I don't think they hold them to 3 points. But
We're not
I
going to
think
hold
20
points.
20 is fair.
If they could, yes, 23.
23-20, I'm in.
Yes,
Love it.
Yes, exactly. All right, we got to take care of some business. We've got lots to do today. All right, obviously, get you all geared up. EJ's coming straight up. We'll talk to the brain. We got Franny Films, and of course, our man David Murphy, all coming up today. Kind of get you set on a playoff Monday. Kevin Stefanski, by the way, our good friend, has been fired in Cleveland.
Yeah. Well, I'd hire him today as OC.
In his
Today.
In his second.
Yes.
I just texted him. I go, forget that mess out there. Come home.
Yes.
All right.
Hey, also a little Phillies news. Don Mattingly hired as bench coach. Could it be a little bait out there for Bo Bichette to follow him? They're supposed to be pretty tight. Doesn't hurt negotiations.
I love it. I love the Bo Bichette rumors, and I loved Donnie Baseball to go with Preston up in the executives. All right, lots to get to. Let's talk about some of our friends, shall we? Yes, we're talking playoffs. We need Xfinity to make it the perfect watch party. There's nothing better, right? We have the epic 5 days of football coming up. Thursday night, Miami and Ole Miss. Friday night, Indiana. Wow, that's going to be incredible, man.
Dude, all the transfers are going to Indiana right now, too. They're going to be stacked.
It's incredible. And then a playoff weekend, wild card weekend in the NFL. 5 straight games of playoff, culminating obviously with Eagles-Niners, 4:30 Sunday on Fox. So lots to do. It's going to be a lot of fun. Get your setup right. Xfinity, the perfect fan flex. Xfinity's best picture and sound with enhanced 4K, so clear it feels like you're in a stadium. Next game day, make sure that big fan isn't a big fail. Learn more at Xfinity.com. Xfinity, imagine that. Restrictions apply. That's right. I gave you the 5 days of football coming up. You got to have the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app going. Here we are. Let's see where do we stand here. So Indiana's 4.5 over Oregon. Mm-hmm. And then the NFL games, Birds 3.5. The Rams are 10 over Carolina. You mentioned the Bears-Packers.
Bills are -1 over Jags.
How about the Jaguars? Wow, man.
And the Steelers getting 3 against the Texans.
That's a Monday night game. That game last night was awesome. Yeah. Check out the Bet Park Sportsbook online casino app. Always another way to win. In fact, new customers get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. BetParks.com has all the details. You got all your same-game parlays, futures. Get in on the playoff action. BetParks.com. Got to be 21. If you have a gambling problem, please call 1-800-GAMBLER. All right. Now, joining us, the man who covers the Birds for all PHLY. We love him on the Xfinity mobile call-in line, E.J. Smith. Good morning, EJ.
What's going on, guys? How are we feeling today?
You know, I'm annoyed.
Yeah. No, you have every, like, of all the people in Philadelphia, you have every right to be annoyed because you really did. Like I always tell people, like, if you came into the game and you said that they should have rested the starters, you can't flip flop. But for you, like, you were on this from the beginning. You said that you didn't think they should rest the starters. You thought the 2 seed was important, and honestly, like, the exact scenario that you were worried about played out. So no, listen, I mean, we argued about it, and I got to say, like, you were onto something there.
Well, only because of this, right? For a couple of reasons. One, the 2 seed. 2, the Packers. I think the Packers are a better matchup than San Francisco, right? And also, you're not good enough to rest. You're not good enough on offense. Like, if you wanted to rest Cam Jerkins and Jalen Carter, I get it, right? but not the full-fledged shelving of the starters when you're coming off a game. You didn't get a first down in the second half.
Yeah, the more I thought about it throughout the week. Now, listen, I was on the other side of this, so I'm not going to flip-flop. And I do think that there's a chance. Well, the Eagles have an opportunity here to kind of reframe what this looks like, resting the starters. If they go on a postseason run and they attribute the rest as a big reason why, that does kind of change the equation here. But at the same time, like being at the facility, I kind of I heard all week from players about the value that they saw in getting a rest. So I think that probably swayed how I felt about it. And I still don't have. Listen, it was the exact scenario that you didn't want to happen for the Eagles, but I still don't have a huge issue with the decision being around the team. But listen, again, this went exactly.
I will tell you, not everybody in that building was pro rest.
Oh, for sure. Yeah, no, I think you're afraid. I think your evaluation of it earlier was correct. That this was Nick Sirianni's decision. That he wanted to guarantee that he got something out of this game, which was he knew he could rest the starters. That's what he kept saying. I can guarantee I can get the starters rest. I can't guarantee that the Bears will lose and that the number 2 seed will be in play. So, and I think you heard a lot all that last week about they felt like they could still beat the Commanders even with the backups. And I think for some of the reasons that they weren't able to, they kind of, it's been a lot of the same stuff we've talked about all season, right? It's a lot of the feel for the game from Kevin Patullo. I think that was a big thing on offense.
You know what it is, EJ? You know what's nuts,
feel
right?
for the game.
Every time, there had to be 10 times yesterday where they'll throw it and I'll go, man, you should have run it. And then there was a couple times when they ran it, I went, well, now's the time to throw it. Like, I disagreed with a lot of his feel. I don't like his feel of the game. I don't like their feel at all. Like, they should still have won the game. This is 39-year-old Josh Johnson we're talking about. And 3rd and 4, let's go down the field to Cooper. Hey, you're running the ball really well with Tank. He doesn't get a carry in the 4th quarter. You're 2nd and 4 at your own 41, and you don't run it? What are you doing?
Yeah, no, I completely agree. And it's been a constant all season. It's looked different, week to week on how the feel for the game kind of, the lack thereof really shows up for the Eagles offense. They didn't have as many 3 and outs. And I thought it was interesting that they weren't as slow getting up to the line. They weren't, running down the play clock so much. But the constant has been like, the situational decision making, whether it is run pass, whether it is their out concepts, or whether it really just is like, not being able to close out games. So no, I think that is. I think the one constant here is Kevin Patullo and the play calling. I think that is a concern going into the playoffs. I think we went into this game like really curious what the Eagles offense would look like without Jalen, right? And how much of what we've seen from the Eagles offense can be contributing, a contributing factor of what Jalen is comfortable with and what the coaching staff maybe doesn't have in the plan because of Jalen's comfortability. I thought it looked mostly the same yesterday. I didn't think that there were, it wasn't like last year where it was a huge change. It was a lot of under center play action. I think you saw what the Eagles coaching staff wanted to do, and obviously it wasn't good enough against the Commanders.
Felt like in the first quarter or so, it did feel a little different. There were some seam routes, some crossing routes, and then it becomes the same thing we see. I don't understand it. It feels like every game we see a quarter or two where it looks okay, and then it's never a full, complete game.
Yeah, we talked about this on the show, and I agree. They've had those seam routes in the red zone. Jalen's thrown a couple of those this year, but the crossers, for sure. That's something that we've been calling for all season, wondering why they don't run more crossing routes with some of the talent that they have on that in the receiving core. But I remember a couple weeks ago, Bo and I were talking about this. Like, it seems like Kevin Patullo, he doesn't have the issues that he has. It's not the first 15. It's not the initial plan. Now, sometimes it goes haywire right away for them, right? Like, they come into a game expecting one thing, they get something else, and they have a real hard time adjusting in game. But I think what they've really struggled with all year is the adjustment mid game, right? Once your first 15 is up, once the stuff that you prepared for is over, that first quarter, once they start to pick up on some of your tendencies, it seems like Kevin Patullo is slow to adjust or struggles with those adjustments.
But even like so slow. I watched I watch competent OCs around the league go, all right, this is where we're going to attack. This is my thought process. He's not good. All right?
Yeah.
They need to get on the phone with Kevin Stefanski now.
I couldn't.
Now.
Yeah, when I saw that this morning, I said, I
texted
wonder if he'd be
Kevin, come home. Forget that mess up in Cleveland. Nobody can win there. Come home right now.
Senior offensive assistant for the playoffs, like a Vic
Yes.
Fangio style appointment.
Yes.
I mean, yeah, who says no there, right? No, I mean, I completely agree with you there. I think I was surprised. I mean, I guess you can't be surprised the Browns fired Kevin Stefanski because they're the Browns, but I mean, I think he's a great coach. So
I do too.
Yeah, definitely would benefit the Eagles. Yeah,
I do too. I think he's. Listen, this is going to be an interesting run here because, you know, there's something about Sirianni right now that I think he's maybe scared is too harsh of a word, but the one thing that Sirianni is, he's not. I'll say steadfast, and he's not. You're gonna laugh at this analogy, but he's not a wartime consigliere. I get his record, I get his play. He won the Super Bowl, but again, they need Vic in there to make things happen, right? Like,
yeah,
and just his feel, man. He's aggressive with nonsensical stuff. And when other things where I think he should be aggressive, he's tentative.
Yeah, I think it's a lot it kind of like aligns with his sideline demeanor to me, and that's we've talked before about some of the fourth down decisions that he makes, and I think it is, and I don't mean this in like a charged way. I think that it's just objectively it is an emotional decision for him sometimes. It is a lot to do with the flow of the game and how he feels about that decision, which is understandable. People make decisions based off of that stuff, but you're right. As a head coach, sometimes you need to have
I don't mind that
detached view of it.
Right. But I don't mind if you do that. But I don't think his gut is right.
Right. That's why I've always been in favor. Like you have to have the sheet, right? I know you want the ideal coach where like they don't need the sheet, but for Nick, I feel like sometimes you need it. It's like I know how you feel in this situation, but you need to look at the numbers and make a more of an objective decision. But I think that is like who he is. It's a lot of like feel for the game, and sometimes it does have it's influenced by the emotional side of things.
It's funny. I remember talking to a coach who said, my gut should match with the analytics.
Yeah.
Like for the most part. Now, there are times when you're going to go against the analytics and numbers because of situation and understanding the flow of the game. Sometimes the flow of the game, when the field tips and stuff, it changes, and the numbers don't mean anything, right? They're wrong. But normally, for the most part, a coach's instincts need to match what the analytics are saying. I don't
think
see
that usually.
it.
So that usually shows that a coach is well studied in these situations. And listen, Nick Sirianni is well studied in these situations. They've got meetings where they go over situational stuff. But I think that there's enough times now where we've seen, especially some of these 3rd and 3, like 4th and 3 scenarios, it's just like a lack of like a real grasp on, like if you're going to go on 4th, take 2 shots at running it. And I don't know, it just seems like, especially this year, it's really backfired a lot for him. So no, it's a fair criticism.
Like when you look at certain coaches in this league, there's just a stark difference. Like I look at Ben Johnson, look at the guy coming in on Sunday. You look at Shanahan, it's just different. It's an elevated style of play.
Yeah. So you mean like schematically, not situationally, right? Because Shanahan's obviously
I'm now moving on to everything.
They don't have like the plan, right? Those guys have schemes that are rooted in
They also have a feel for the game of how to set things up. Right? Like they understand the flow of the game, how they have an idea. Like I never feel like offensively, like look how different they are offensively and defensively. Like there's a plan defensively. Like you understand what they're trying to accomplish. And offensively, you never understand it.
And Vic Fangio can put what they're trying to accomplish into like a simple sentence that like a 12-year-old could understand. You know, they don't want the opposing quarterback to know what they're in pre-snap, and everything else gets built around that. And yeah, you're right. I think with the Eagles offense, it's like it's the only Eagles team I think I've ever covered that you just never figured out what they wanted to do offensively. You know, there wasn't like a simple core philosophy. You know, in years past with Nick, it was always like, you know, it's just players. You know, player-centric, get your best players the ball in space. But that hasn't been the case this year. It really has been kind of a different flavor every week. They never really figured it out. It felt like late in the season, it just turned into each week they're just going to try and guess right on what defensive looks they're going to get and have a plan for those looks. And if it doesn't go that the route they expect, you know, they're scrambling throughout the game.
Like there's nobody.
We didn't expect that. Like how many times I heard that? What are you talking about? You didn't expect that.
But it's like there's nobody upstairs to be like, hey, Kevin, Nick, we're trying to do this. They've adjusted. This is what they're doing. You know, we should be able to exploit this now. There's nobody on this staff who can just point something out to them.
I mean, it's a good question, but honestly, that's the job of the OC and the head coach. You know, and Nick's been more involved the last month or so, but those guys, like, again, they don't have that like core tenet, that core philosophy that is obvious. It does, like, there's not like a one thing that's like clear about everything that they do offensively where it's like this is what they are trying to accomplish. And you're right, because like they don't set things up like other teams do. You know, they get to under center, they run 7 times before they have a play action pass. You know, they run shotgun runs and they don't have the quarterback included in it. It just doesn't really, there's not a through line there. So I think that's why we've always been so bullish on the under center stuff, is because it does at least seem like something that they could build an identity off of. It feels like the only time where they're setting things up and they've got momentum, but even that, they're not productive out of it. So, you know, I think that it's crazy that it's the playoffs
EJ,
now. We're talking
about something basic, like that everybody in this day and age of football, right? Things change, things morph. You go from pistol, right? Now under center because of the play action, because we've gone back into time and the run game matters. Well, so does play action, right? So again, if Jalen's not going to run out of shotgun, then he's got to be under center. Like it's it, you know?
Yeah.
I mean, you're going to be under center 80% of the time. That's what has to happen.
I thought we'd see like a ton of under center against the Commanders, just because it's Tanner McKee. He's more comfortable. Well, he's comfortable under center. He said it himself. And also, like, you kind of this was an opportunity for the coaching staff, like last year, to show us like this is what we want it to look like. I was surprised that they didn't have more under center looks with Tanner McKee. It was kind of like middle of the road for the season, but I don't know. The fact that we don't know what this Eagles offense is, it's not even just like what the production is going to look like, what they're going to do schematically. It's not really an advantage. You know, it's really a testament to the fact that they don't have anything that they do particularly well going into high stakes games. Now, they still could go on a run here. They got enough talent. The 49ers defense isn't very good. I know that, we've been pretty hard on the offense, but they still have a pathway to figuring this out. But again, it's crazy that we've gotten this far in the season.
Defense is not good. You're exactly right. I mean, it's decimated, and their weakness is in the secondary. So here we go. All right, you got AJ Brown, Devontae Smith, and Dallas Goedert.
Yeah,
let's go. Let's exploit that secondary.
Yeah, last week Fran said that this is probably the best case matchup for them. It's a static defense. They don't have as much of the moving parts that Jalen Hurts has struggled with this season. For me, I'm going to have to see it to believe it. It's been too long. So, they should have the advantages, but even like mildly concerning, they haven't been as good against man as they were earlier in the season. So, I don't know. Maybe the rest will be a big deal for a guy like AJ Brown. But I don't. Again, I gotta see it to believe it with this offense at this point.
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, I still think the Packers were the best matchup for them.
Yeah.
Without Micah Parsons, that defense lost a ton, right?
Yeah.
So but this Niners team, like, I don't know. I mean, you should be able to move the ball, and like to me, I think the Eagles hold them to 20.
I think it could be even lower. I mean,
I'm saying worst case scenario, I think you're 20.
Right? Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah.
Could be. Could be.
I think the Eagles can win a lot of these games 16-9, 17-6. I think they're going to have some of these ugly, low-scoring, old-school football games because their defense is that good, and the offense is where it is. So, if it's a shootout, I don't feel great about it. I think
I can't see it being a shootout because I just don't see. I don't see the Eagles defense giving up 27 points.
Right. I agree. No, I agree. I think I wrote about it last week. I think the Eagles offense needs to be a moment's offense in the postseason. We've seen examples of it in the past. There are really only two teams that made it to the Super Bowl in the last 10 years that had an offense that was as unproductive as the Eagles were in the regular season. And the 2023 Chiefs are one of those two offenses. I think that's got to be your template there. It's got to be your talent wins out in high-stakes games. But, again, it's a thing that it's a tough needle to thread. The fact that there's only been 3 teams to make it to the Super Bowl. I mean, one of them was the 2015 Denver Broncos with Peyton Manning, 39-year-old Peyton Manning. That's the company that the Eagles offense is in going into this playoffs.
Wow. You got to hope that you don't face the Rams.
Right.
And you got to hope that, if you play Seattle, that you could just get Darnold to wet the bed.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm not trying to be Pollyannish here, but there is still a chance that both the 1 and the 2 seed are gone by, the conference championship. It's Sam Darnold, in the divisional round. And then it's, the Bears are playing the Packers, a divisional game. I don't know. I'm not saying I think it's going to happen, but there still is a path for this to work out for the Eagles. The bigger thing is, are they going to be able to take advantage of it?
Yes.
Well, that's what's so frustrating. Especially, I'm a believer Seattle can go out quick with Darnold. So that's what's so frustrating about not really. It didn't seem like they cared about the 2 seed.
Yeah. No, I mean, listen, like I said, it backfired big time on them. It's just a matter of if they can make up for it by getting these guys rest. Because, even last night, the players were, I mean, what else are they going to say? But the players were pretty consistent with, they valued the fact that they got this break, this reset before the playoffs.
Yeah, meanwhile, we saw Reed trying to get on the field when there was the one injury.
Well, he was one snap away for most of the game because of Brandon Johnson. I thought it was interesting. Like Devontae said, it was not his decision on whether or not he could go back in the game. I get why you don't put those guys back in. That's really a strange scenario to put a guy in. But I just think if you. I'm of two minds about it, but they really lost the game mostly because of their cornerback pairing. If you just had just Adoree Jackson out there, do you win that game? But at the same time, you saw what it looks like if Adoree Jackson gets hurt. I don't think you want to risk it. So I don't know.
But my point is not even about the game itself. I wanted to win the game. That's an obvious.
Yeah.
But it's 1A and 1B. The 1B is I'm not playing well offensively.
Yeah.
I know if I go and play my starters against Washington in the last game of the season, that I could sit him out for the fourth quarter because I'll be up comfortably and I'll go into the playoffs feeling good about myself.
Yeah. No, I mean, it's not a foregone conclusion the way that the Eagles' offenses looked. I mean, they struggled against the Commanders a couple of weeks ago. But, when you think about the fact that they're going to go into the playoffs, I think Dana said it was 15 straight unsuccessful plays against the Bills. No, they have not built any momentum going into this game against a team like we've said that can put up points even against good defenses.
Yeah,
I'm
a hot team, but I'm a believer in being hot.
And last year we were steamrolled, and now we got Ben Johnson taking shots. They asked him about the game yesterday. Ben Johnson, he's like, everyone's disappointed. I appreciate, like I said, their effort about the Bears, and he said, some teams, they rest their starters. We don't. We play football. Taking shots at us.
I love them. I'll be honest with you. I love them.
I don't want to be the team that they're calling weak like that and scared.
I love him. He's right. He's right.
The exact
we
opposite.
play football.
Did you guys see Kittle, who is let's go Cardinals? We're trying to get the 5 seed. I thought that was the opposite of that energy.
Right.
It's you want to bring some confidence into the postseason. You don't want to be begging to get out of the Eagles matchup.
Oh, Kittle said that?
Kittle, yeah, but after the game Saturday, he said, "Let's go Cardinals." You know, like he was clearly trying to get out of the 6th seed. I mean, it's a favorable matchup. Like you're playing the NFC South winner, but still, it's mostly to avoid the Eagles there in the 3 seed.
Oh yeah, well, yeah, he didn't know, but a lot of people thought too that they had a shot for the 2 seed. So I feel.
Oh, did they? Okay, I didn't realize that they thought
no.
that was possible.
That the Eagles had a shot for the 2 seed. So
yeah, that's fair.
I get it. Like you want to play that South. That South is horrible.
The South is 8-9 wins the South.
Should you change the rules to where you have? It's a record.
Under 500 team. If you're under 500, there should be some kind of exception.
Like I get the division thing, but it should be like if you win 12 games in this league,
right?
Yeah, I lean toward saying that they should change the rule, but I do understand like the old school sentimentality of like you win your division and it should mean something.
Yeah,
I don't know. I can see both sides of it, but I do think we've just seen too many 4 seeds who are undeserving of that home playoff game. I think that it's probably time to make the change.
Agreed. EJ, great stuff. What's on tap now?
Yeah, we got me and Bo at 2:00. We're gonna go through this game, go through the playoff matchup. We got a lot of good stuff this week. We've got Fran and Deniz in on both Wednesday and Thursday, breaking down both matchups. The Eagles' defense against the 49ers offense, and then vice versa. We got Mina Kimes later in the week, so we're gonna have a lot of really good stuff this week. I'm excited for some of these conversations.
All right, I like it. Great stuff, buddy. Thanks, EJ. You're the greatest.
All right, guys.
EJ Smith. All right, let's take care of some business. Then we're going to go to the brain and see what the brain has to say. Yeah, baby. All right, let's. Parks Casino, yes. How about it? The night of headline entertainment and award-winning dining. Parks Casino, something for everyone's taste. Coming up January 16th, Queensryche.
Oh, yeah.
January 31st, Marshall Tucker Band and Jefferson Starship. Here you go. Saturday, February 7th, Piano Men, a tribute show to Elton John and Billy Joel. February 28th, country artist Brett Young. Friday, March 6th, Candlebox, VG.
All right.
Here you go. March 14th, comedian Tracy Morgan. How about April 3rd, Cheap Trick? That's your squad.
Yeah.
How about May 14th, the Wallflowers? The night of entertainment. And don't forget the sports book with all the playoff action going on, man. It's Parks Casino. Go to parkscasino.com to buy tickets for all shows. Give the gift of entertainment, man. You got to be 21. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER. Parks Casino. This is how you win.
Hey, let's talk about our friends over at Elkins Chevrolet. Elkins Chevrolet, it's run by 3 brothers, real brothers. They're big sports fans. They're at the dealership all the time, making sure you get the best deal. And this time of year, they're making sure you get the deal that will feel just as good as an Eagles win, even better than the Buffalo win. They got a big inventory of Chevy trucks and SUVs, and there's no better time to grab one at a price that won't last. Whether it's getting to the game, you're going to work, or hitting the holiday road, you'll roll into the new year in the perfect ride at the perfect price. They got Trailblazers, Equinox, Silverados. You want it, they got it. Elkins Chevrolet, real brothers, real deals, and they got a whole lot of honking good service going on. Elkins Chevrolet is really easy to get to. It's right over the bridge, Route 73 South in Marlton, New Jersey. So shop now at elkinschevrolet.com. And you know what we say, together, let's drive.
All right, welcome back. It was good stuff with EJ.
Yeah.
I feel angst.
I'm with you.
Last year, I felt emboldened.
Well, I
couldn't
agree more. Yeah.
Now I feel
limping in.
How's
Feels
the
like we're
chat
limping
feel?
in. The chat, I think it's 50-50. Some people think we're a little too negative, and some people are in reality.
It's not about negative. Like, come on, man. We're trying to. It's
I think it's just
playoffs, man. Let's go. It's business,
We'll
man.
we'll be hyped
There's
up.
there's no negativity. It's about business. Come on. Friday we'll do a pep rally show, but
yes.
Today
maybe Thursday.
You gotta get serious, man. Listen, we live this stuff. All right, I live it. Watch every freaking second of every game. Like, live it.
That's why you're all sad today. Season's over.
I hate it.
You look miserable. So mopey get out. You look like Joel Embiid on a bad run getting out of his car today.
Yeah, because, listen, it's the end of the holidays. I hate January. I hate February. It sucks. All right?
Got to play off football, Super Bowl.
I love
Olympics
the
are starting
the next
soon.
5
Gear up, man. Win our Olympics in 4 weeks.
I mean, I like Taka being out there, but I'm not in Milan. If I was in Milan, I'd be excited. Let's go to our man to make some sense of the 5 days of football that's coming up. Oh, the brain.
Brain.
Red, the brain finder.
Mobile calling line. Happy New Year, brain.
Hey, good morning, man. How you guys doing today?
Brain.
So what do you think, brain?
Wait. Brain's got a custom hat on today. He's got a Brad's Best Bets hat.
Yeah, he looks good.
Love it.
Yeah, he looks great with it.
Yeah.
You know, it's funny, guys. I haven't really spoke to you, Anthony, like, and VG. What did you guys think? I know I texted you a little bit, Anthony. I know you didn't agree with the decision, but now getting the 2 seed, right, and playing a lifeless Green Bay team versus a team that can actually beat you. I don't understand. And then the second round game.
You should have heard the first 50 minutes of the show.
I just don't. But I don't. I always, Anthony, I say show your work, unless like these guys were seriously injured, which I understand some of them may have been and really needed the week off. Those I understand. That I won't get on anyone. But let me ask you a question. It's like okay for Bill Belichick, who won 64 Super Bowls, to play his guys every single week, never rest anyone. But you're too good to do it?
Look at what Ben Johnson said. You saw what Ben Johnson said. We don't rest our starters. We play football.
Oh, yeah, exactly. And then he cribbed this team for how bad they played. But I just don't get it. And it to me, it's a loser's mentality. I agree.
I agree. It is a loser's mentality. The only time you rest is if you got the 1 seed locked up and you're right. You got nothing to play for. I got no beef. Rest up. Go ahead. But when you the last time you played offense, you didn't get a first down the entire second half.
Again, you're right, and I just find it like I just. And Anthony, you know this way better than me, like 1,000 times better than me. But do you think this is more organizational or more coach?
Coach.
Okay.
Coach.
Okay. I don't.
This coach. Sometimes I just don't trust his feel. I don't. I like the guy. I'm not calling for his head or anything like that. But I don't trust his. I don't trust his intuition.
Yeah, I don't. To me, it just doesn't. Again, certain guys in the O-line banged up. I get maybe is like, you know what? It's not worth me risking.
Listen,
but this
Jalen
is
Carter.
You knew.
I got no problem. You sit Jalen Carter. Cam Jurgens. Got no problem. You sit Cam Jurgens. That's it. Play football.
I agree with you. And again, like for those who say who cares, I mean it's all part of like a process, right? Like the entire thing is it's a trickle-down effect. And, what's funny? It's interesting, Anthony. You can make the argument, I'm just saying, if he was so that the Green Bay game could have been such a walkover, maybe you could have benched the guys anyway in the second half. I'm not going to exaggerate a little bit, but this is going to be a much harder game, theoretically. And then you have to go on the road game in week. I don't get any of it. I keep going back to it, but anyway, it is what it is. All that being said, Anthony's line opened at 2.5. Was able to get the Eagles laying 2.5. It's up to 3.5.
Nice.
Yeah.
You jumped in on the Bears.
Jumping on it.
I like it.
Well, 2.5 was too low. It should have been 3.5, and that's what the number is now. Now the number's correct. And then, it's interesting. Then they'll have to play, if they win this game, potentially they're going to have to play the Bears in round 2. Again, like, I guess the other way to look at it is if you're actually looking at it in his way, and I'll give you a weird scenario where you can maybe argue that it's, the next round, if the Bears win this week, you could say, okay, you get to play the Bears in round 2 versus potentially playing San Francisco in round 2. Maybe he'd say he'd run step. Actually, I take that back. The whole thing doesn't make sense. I'm just trying to like defend it, but I do think that the Eagles have if you think about draws, Anthony, you think about draws. You look at Seattle, right? They get the number 1 seed. They've been the best. I mean, they've been very consistent all year. They keep doing it. But if they win, assuming the Rams win, which I think they will, their first round game, that is, I'll put it this way. I'd much rather be the number 3 seed and play in Chicago or at home versus Green Bay. I don't know how that, as opposed to having to play that game against the Rams if I'm Seattle. So I think the Eagles have a great draw. Because you wanted to avoid, to me, the Seattle Rams team until the conference championship.
Oh, exactly. You only want to face them once. So
correct.
One of them, excuse me. Yeah, I'm with it. I agree. Like, look, ultimately, you just got to beat San Fran. You beat San Fran.
Yeah.
If you go to Chicago, it's a revenge game. You know what they did to you last time in the run game. I'm very confident, Vic. Right. So I think Vic can make things happen.
That'll be a low-scoring game,
right? And I think you beat the Bears. If Green Bay wins, I think you roll the Packers, right? So now we're in the championship game. But but it has to happen Sunday. Like Sunday, obvious. It's an obvious statement. It's a Captain Obvious statement. But they're a tough team. Look, you're going to have to score.
They are a tough team.
You're going to have to score 23 to win the game.
Yeah, I actually think that's pretty fair. They are a tough team, and I was very impressed. I know we didn't talk about the game today, but with Seattle, I mean, I tell you what would Jalen Hurts' completion total be against Seattle? 1.5. I mean, like they really were impressive. Because Purdy, say what you want to say, this has been they were scoring 50 points a game. This team, and Seattle comes in, and they don't get a first down.
Well, they're nasty, right? Like their defense is great. And what kills them is, like, they're so good at flowing to the ball. And the Eagles are good at that, too. So that makes me feel good about the Eagles in the sense that they flow to the football. All that McCaffrey stuff, like, they flow to the ball. Because their linebackers are so good, their front seven's really good. Yeah. So that makes me feel good. The only thing that it would worry me is Pearsall changes the game. Pearsall didn't play against Seattle,
I agree.
And he and Jennings can be a problem.
Again, I plead guilty, Tony. I think, what was his excuse about not caring about the game?
What's that?
What was his excuse about not giving a about
Knicks?
the game?
Sirianni?
About the. Yeah, what's it? What is this?
Oh, he said
to me, there's
said
such
rest.
a difference.
Yeah, rest. He said the only thing he could control was how much rest they got. He couldn't control if Chicago won or lost, so he could control the rest. So he felt it was important to get them on like a bye week.
Did anyone ask him if they were ahead of Chicago in the tiebreaker? And if they lost in Chicago, it was the exact opposite, right? Chicago wins, they lose the number 2 seed. But if the Eagles just win, they get the 2 seed. Did anyone ask him if he would have played everyone?
No.
Nah.
Well, I'm just curious if he did it because it was out of his control, like you said. But if it was in his control, would he have played everyone? That's my question. I'm just curious.
Nah, I think he was. I don't know. I mean, he was steadfast on getting them a rest. I mean,
yeah, we'll see how it plays out.
Listen. The one thing that Sirianni is he's a player's coach. Like, he's about, how do you guys feel? And I give him credit. What he's good at is he's good at knowing his players. So if I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt, now I wouldn't have done that, but if I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt is he feels like his players needed a rest. All right.
Okay, yeah, I guess I can't. For me,
I disagree. I'm not going to harp on it like for all week. It is what it is. Yeah. We got it out. I got it out of my system. Talk to me about who do you like? We kind of went over the NFC a little bit. AFC, where you at?
Well, I will say this. I've only bet one game 2 games. I bet the Eagles laying 2.5, and I bet the Rams laying 9.5. the Rams I made a pretty big bet on. The AFC, I was so close, and I wish I did it. I was very close to taking Texans laying 2.5, kind of somewhat heavy juice, like minus $1.20. It's now closer to 3.5 today. I think the Steelers stink. I know.
Well, it's a bad
Texans
matchup for them. Like the Texas defense is ridiculously good. They're so good. They're going to destroy the Steelers.
Yeah, it's going to be hard for Pittsburgh. I mean, you watched Pittsburgh last night. Again, that was luck.
Even with DK back,
Look, and by the way,
DK,
DK is a good player, but he's not like, you're not talking about like Puka Nacua here or Jamar Chase.
No.
He's a good player. He's certainly not a great player. So let's not even, you're right. They don't have any good receivers at all besides him. So for them, it's certainly a real thing. I'd say he's worth a half point to the line, but I can only look Texans there. And the other game I was looking at, Anthony, and again, I'm close on it, is the Bills game against the Jaguars. To me, and I'm curious what side you're on this. Again, I when a team just shows you who they are and they're giving you the answer to the test, the last, let's call it 9 weeks, 8 weeks, Jacksonville has been terrific. And you know what, Anthony? My number one breakout player of the year, and I felt like the biggest buffoon for the first 10 weeks.
Lawrence.
But he's probably been
Sunshine.
the last 7 weeks right there is the best player in the NFL, has been Lawrence. And I think Buffalo is like a version. Buffalo and Chargers to me, the two most similar teams. I think they both have a magnificent player at quarterback and very limited stuff. I mean, Cook's obviously a really good running back, but very limited stuff around the quarterback to surround the team. I think that I feel very confident the Jaguars are the better team here. I know how great Allen is. He's phenomenal. But I think this is the worst team they've ever given them. And I think Jacksonville's going to win.
And I don't think Buffalo's defense is good. Like, I can't. Years past, I could lean in on their defense. I don't think their defense is that good.
Yeah.
Despite holding the
I don't
Eagles
think anything
to
about their team.
no first downs in the second half.
Yeah. Well, they have a top 5 player in the world. Okay. Maybe you could argue maybe the best. Okay. And they have
second best after a guy in Cleveland.
No, I'm talking about.
You talking about Allen? I thought you were talking about the other side of the ball.
Oh no. Well, yeah, no. But they have a really good running back. Okay, but I really think this team is extremely limited, and it's interesting, Anthony. And I've heard that and I don't know how much stuff's coach speak, but it doesn't seem like it's coincidence. They added Jacoby Myers to the team to go with Parker Washington, to go with Brian Thomas. And you would think,
Strange, man. Strange is a weapon.
Strange has been great.
Yeah.
Strange has been great. He was obviously a really good college player and followed him there. I know, and he's been really, really good. But what's his name has talked about? Lawrence has talked about how him getting this third receiver because they lost. You know what's interesting? They lose. The guy from Colorado. They got the Heisman Trophy winner. Oh my God, who am I talking about?
Travis
Hunter.
Hunter.
Won the Heisman
Hunter.
Travis Hunter. They lose Travis Hunter.
I had a break rap too.
Be-all player, and he was, to me, extremely disappointing on both sides of the ball. They wanted him to be that receiver to bring everything together. They trade for a solid veteran in Jacoby, who's just had a really nice career, but he's always, he's always been like a solid,
Raiders.
not elite player, right? But always a really good player, but never great. And he comes in here, and it's changed everything. I don't know what it is, how it's been. And this team is now going so smooth on the offensive side of the ball without Brian Thomas doing squadoosh in reality. But I just like the way this team is playing.
No, and their defense is good. Their defense is sneaky.
This team has been, honestly,
I agree.
What have they won, like 8 in a row? I don't know. I don't have it in front of me. But it's in the midst of
No, I agree with you. I think Jacksonville's the play there. I do.
I do not like Denver to do well in this tournament. Watching that game yesterday, my God, I will say, now their defense is great, but man, if Trey Lance just didn't gift wrap a pick 6, they couldn't get a first down against the Chargers. Literally, they couldn't get a first down. Look, I in the AFC, I personally think the best team is New England. I think they have right now. May is playing at the highest level. I like the coach.
I'm on the Texans
combination.
Come out of it.
Texans.
Hard road. I know it's a hard road. But I love.
They certainly can
I
do it.
told you that
said it
weeks
to me.
ago.
You
I'm going to
texted
stay
to
with
me.
them.
You texted to me during. You texted me during the was it the Chiefs game? You go, this team's gonna go to the, and they haven't lost since. They've won like 6 in a row since your text to me. They're really really good. And look, I'll say this, Anthony, the AFC to me, and you can say the NFC too, I guess to a certain extent, but I feel like you can make, and certainly if you're a lawyer, you can make an argument for Denver. You can make an argument for New England. You can make an argument for Jacksonville. You can make an argument for Buffalo. You can make an argument for Houston. Probably harder to make an argument for the Chargers, and certainly you can't make one for the Steelers, but we'll see. It's certainly very, very close how this is going to play out. And I think these games will be tight. They'll be exciting. Look, we got a great game last night. It was
awesome. It was awesome.
So much fun.
That was actually really exciting. And the NFC, Anthony, again, I really would be mind-boggling to me if Green Bay can get there. Mind-boggling to me if Chicago can get there. I know they're the number 2 seed.
I think it's Seattle, the Rams, or the Eagles.
I think it's Seattle, the Rams, the Eagles, and I would be almost Mike Tyson, Buster Douglas shocked if it was not one of those 3 teams. Maybe you could argue, could Frisco do it? Is it possible?
I don't think so. I don't know that defense. Yeah, not with that defense.
Stranger things, but that would
Eagles,
really
Texans, Super Bowl.
Oh,
Battle of defenses,
that'd be like
baby.
9-6 game.
Jeez. Yeah, I mean, it really would be. But again, it's interesting how the Eagles have morphed into a team that is, that can't score the ball on offense, but they put all their money and resources in offense, but they have to win on defense. But you know what? They certainly can. I will say this: if they play the Rams, I think, Anthony, I know you're a big matchup guy. I think I don't know if you agree, disagree. I think they have a better chance to beat Seattle in like a 13-10 kind of game.
Yes.
Than the Rams, because the Rams are going to score.
Yes.
Guess what?
No, I agree. I much rather, because of the Eagles' defense against Darnold. So, give me Seattle. Like, I'm rooting Seattle all the way. Like, when they play the Rams, I want Seattle to win. I'd rather go play at Seattle than have the Rams come here.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually agree with that.
Yeah,
I
just don't want to see them again.
Darnold at all. I want Darnold more than anyone.
Exactly. Hey, we're up against it, baby. Later in the week, we'll talk college, okay?
Yeah, it's strong. One of my favorite games of the year. So,
whoa, that's a hit. I like
you guys
it.
are the best. I appreciate it. Happy New Year, everyone.
Happy New Year, my brother, the great brain. There it is. All right, we're going to take care of some business. And then we got Franny Films coming up. Yes. Love that. All right, let's talk about Wawa. Yes, I was there this morning. I'm there every morning at Wawa. Hey, they have something called the $5 Big Breakfast Deal. All right, it's a sizzly, any size hot or iced coffee and a hash brown. The whole thing for a Finsky. That's right, $5. It's a go-to, man. Everybody should go. First of all, I love going to my Wawa. It's like I get to go Birds, talk about the game. It's my 5 minutes of happiness when I'm in the store. It's the perfect town square is the Wawa. And anyway, $5, you're in and out. You got enough fuel to actually focus on what's coming up, whether that's catching up on the games, prepping for a meeting, or just trying to get ahead of the game. Now, the deal's only in the mornings, 5 to 11 a.m., so it's the perfect kind of window, all right? Wawa, for a limited time only. Make sure you go to Wawa.com. Exclusions apply. See Wawa for details. Wawa, baby. Love it. Hey, you want Jalen Hurts returning punt Sunday against San Francisco? Of course not. It's ridiculous. Not worth the risk, the time, the money. Keep your stars focused on doing what they do best. Same goes for business. Enter Chogo. You don't want your top people buried in operations, tedious, time-consuming, redundant activities that wear the team down. Togo can help any business looking to reduce operating costs, become more efficient, unlock more time for the best people. Every engagement starts with free process mapping and engineering. No cost, no commitment. We don't bill a dime until the real work begins. And with programs starting as low as $1,000 a month, you're not going to break the bank. Each Togo program includes dedicated staff, custom automations, U.S.-based process engineers who act as your quarterback, giving you complete control, total transparency, accuracy, and instant efficiency. At Togo, they turn your playbook into performance. Visit harnesstogo.com. Scale smarter, work faster, stay focused on winning.
Let's go. It's Leatherhead time.
I know, man. I'm just like sitting here just thinking about it. They got to win. Listen, they can get back there.
Yes.
They can get back there.
Yes.
Eagles-Texans is where I'm thinking.
All right. I think the Jags got it going on over there.
They do.
Liam
They're
Cohn's
hot.
got something going on.
They're hot.
Yeah, I was.
I'm a believer
if we had
in the
more time, I was
defense.
going to see if Brady. They're 6-1. I was like, maybe I'll throw $25 on the Jags.
On
to
the
get
Jags?
there. Yeah.
Listen, Jags are good. Jags are good. I think they're going to beat Buffalo. All right. Let's go to our man who's just, he's the greatest. He's a great football man, the ultimate leatherhead on the Xfinity mobile hotline, Franny Films.
They do not crave food nor drink for nourishment, for they exist solely on the glow of the all 22 monitors. They are the Leatherheads, and he is Franny Films.
Films! Good
going on, man? What's
morning,
going on,
my
BG?
brother.
How's it going, guys?
Dude, first thing I would do this morning is call Kevin Stefanski.
Offensive analyst?
He's already texted him.
I
Fran.
texted him already. I said, bleep that mess up there. Come home. I texted Howie, too. Get him on the phone. Get him here.
My guess is, and we'll see how many openings there are. I got to think that he's going to be on the short list for a number of these teams that do have an opening. Yeah, so, I don't know that he'll be unemployed too long.
Now, I got to be honest with you. If you told me I could have Stefanski or Sirianni, where do you think I'm going?
I know it. And there's, I think there's something to be said for it.
Anyway, that's not happening. But let's get to at business. All right, first of all, overall thoughts from yesterday.
Yeah, disappointing outcome considering the fact that the game was there to be had, and obviously it worked out in your favor when you look over at Detroit and Chicago. All the penalties defensively. I think that, to me, the biggest head scratcher, and we talked about it during the course of the week last week, and we talked about it at the post-game show yesterday as well. Keeping A.J. Dillon on the 53, he touched the ball twice yesterday. That's a roster spot that could have gone to a defensive player to maybe help you out with the depth on the back end, to help you out with the depth on the front end. You see like those guys, Jordan Davis and Nolan Smith and Jalix Hunt playing a majority of the game, and obviously they avoided injury. But if you're talking about like getting guys rest, like those guys didn't get necessarily rest. Meanwhile, you had A.J. Dillon just kind of occupying space there. That was a head scratcher, but at the end of the day, like small potatoes, you got a bunch of these guys rest going into the postseason. A bunch of them need that rest. So being able to get that, I do think that was most important. I was all in favor of those guys resting going into this one. So I can't go back on that now.
Yeah, I was not. All right.
Yeah. I mean, it was not an easy choice.
I don't believe
so I get it.
they were good enough to rest. I don't believe, like Jalen Carter, Cam Jurgens, because they're banged up. All right. Certainly Carter. But when I'm coming off a game where I didn't get a first down in the second half, I'm not feeling good about my resting my players. I think this group needs it. But go ahead.
Yeah, I think that because like Jurgens and Dickerson were two guys, and honestly, I'd probably put Mailata in there as well. And we know Lane wasn't playing, so it's like, all right, like if you have those four guys aren't in, I'm not putting Jalen and Saquon in there. So I think that just the fact that you needed so many of those guys on offense to get that weaker rest, I think that just.
I mean, it's a fair point. Like the Dickerson thing, like, again, I don't have the trainer report and exactly what need. Now, Mailata, I thought, has not played well. So, but I got to see who was my only. In how I look at it, I just don't know the depth of how banged up they are.
Right. Yeah, we're at the information deficit from that.
I mean,
side.
and that's a big deal, right? Like that's a big deal. As much as I could be a blowhard and go, you got to play.
Right.
I don't know how badly they're banged up. Right. I just know Carter's coming off of what he's coming off of, and I know Jurgens has been banged up all year. That's it.
Jurgens and Dicker. I mean, Dickerson is definitely he's feeling it as well. You can see it on the film. Just does not move the way that we've come to expect.
But I don't know that changes, dude. Like honestly,
no. Well, that's
I don't think that stuff changes. Like Dickerson has had a bad year. He just has.
Yep. Yeah,
you know,
and I don't expect, even with the weaker rest, I don't expect Cam Jurgens to look like the Pro Bowl version of him from a year ago either come next week. But I would imagine that a little rest is better than none. And so, I get why the decision was made.
And you still need some sort of flow. Like I got no rhythm, no flow. I got to tell you, just the way Petrillo manages the game, I just don't even understand it. Like I don't get why Tank doesn't touch the ball. There is opportunity. Like it's 2nd and 4 at the 41-yard line on that second drive or the first drive of the fourth quarter, and they don't run it. Incomplete. Like I just don't understand it sometimes.
Yeah, and honestly, like this was a game where, like going in, I knew, like, all right, like most of my attention, most of my time early on this week, I'm actually working on a mock draft for all of the All-City sites right now. But other than that, it's going to be all San Francisco. I might not even watch this film. Like it might be like a passing thing. Let me just buzz through it quickly. My guess is the team is almost operating that way too, where all right, we're flush and we're moving on. I'll steam ahead to San Francisco.
Yeah, let me just do an executive order here. Don't waste time on that film, all right?
Yeah,
There's
right,
nothing
exactly.
you can learn from that film. You focus on Frisco, man, because it's all going to come down to it. Look, we saw Seattle shut down that offense. Now, no Pearsall in the game, but we saw them shut. The Eagles and Seattle, their defense is similar. Seattle's probably stronger in the secondary. The Eagles are stronger in the front seven, but still, they flow to the ball the same way. So I'm hopeful when it comes to that the Eagles can hold that team. As good as Shanahan is, they can hold that team to 17.
Yeah, I think the big thing when you're looking at this San Francisco offense, and they've been one of the most productive, one of the most efficient over the course of this year, you almost have to split it into two sections, the with Purdy and without Purdy. Because honestly, while the efficiency and the explosiveness, like they've been able to maintain that throughout, no matter who was at quarterback, but they've gone about it in different ways. When Mac Jones was in there, the ball was out quick. Everything was schemed up. We're going to play on time and on schedule. When Brock Purdy is in there, he has held on to the ball for a longer rate, and he's been outstanding when he has been in that creation mode. I think a lot of people think of Brock Purdy as, like Mr. Irrelevant, game manager. He has excelled past that. He has blown past that stop sign. So
he buys time. He buys time. He's good at he's sneaky mobile.
Yep.
He does things.
Yeah, he's athletic. He is doing a great job late in the down and making those plays. And honestly, the other big thing, down the field, he has done some of his best work. And when you look back at that game against Seattle, which I buzzed through that film one time, but I have to go through and really kind of take the notes and really kind of dive into it. They didn't allow one deep pass attempt. They took the ceiling off of that offense. Now, a big part of that is no Pearsall, like you mentioned. He has been their deep threat. When Purdy is in there, that's the downfield weapon. Kittle has been banged up. He is a downfield weapon for them in this current iteration of this offense. So being able to take those guys out of the game, I think that really put a lid on this offense. McCaffrey has been a workhorse, but he is not as dynamic as what we've seen in years past. Obviously, he was injured for much of last year. So he is not quite the same in terms of this run game is really what you have to stop. To me, the run game is important, and it's going to be central to what they do, but that's more of like a vehicle for keeping them on schedule. To me, it's more, you got to take the lid off this pass game. Don't let them be explosive. Don't let Brock Purdy beat you when you get into 3rd and long, when you get into those passing downs. So that is going to be the central focus, I think, for Vic Fangio and this defense.
Yeah, I'm so with you. I don't mind. I'll give up. Look, Vic's scheme is going to give up those yards. And I'm more than happy to give up the McCaffrey yards on the ground. Just, I don't want the big chunk plays down the field. And you mentioned it, Kittle is everything, right? Because you have Kittle, you got Pearsall, and then what'll happen is, they'll run McCaffrey on a wheel, or try to get him in space a little bit. Yep. I'm more afraid of McCaffrey in the pass game than I am as a runner.
Yeah, they're going to do all the play action stuff. And honestly, the Eagles have been susceptible to giving up play action chunk plays over the course of the season. That's been one of their weak spots defensively. When you look at it contextually to the rest of the league, they've given up some of those chunk plays. We could think back to some of those games where that has happened. So to me, that's one kind of like game within a game, certainly to watch here. They love to play still with that heavy personnel, two backs, you got use check on the field. So you get a fullback out there, and they're essentially like, all right, we have to keep them in run pass conflict, down after down after down, play action, motion, tight formations. Like the identity of this offense is the same. It just doesn't have quite the same teeth that version did. You go back to like 2022, right? When the Eagles beat that team in the NFC title game. You had Deebo Samuel at the peak of his powers, Christian McCaffrey, peak of his powers, George Kittle still in the upswing. That offensive line back then was better than this group. It's fine, but it's not the same. Like you think back at that Bears game where the Eagles lost on Black Friday, where they got mauled up front. That's not this group. They're going to, it's kind of a smoke and mirrors group in terms of like all the motions. Obviously, McCaffrey is a very decisive runner. He's very elusive. He's forcing missed tackles, but it's not a ground and pound. We are going to move you off the ball and assert our will against you at the point of attack. That's not what this run game's about. They're going to try and beat you with angles, deception, and motion, which that can be, that can be effective against this Eagles defense. But as long as their assignment sound, they should be able to handle business. And it's going to come down to the other side of the ball.
I mean, we've seen that's pretty much how the Bears did it, right? With the angles, the motion, the deception.
Yeah, but then they had, when you look at Darnell Wright at right tackle and some of the other pieces along that offensive front, they're getting great play out of Joe Thuney at guard. Like they're moving, they pair the intellectual aspect of it with the physicality and that brute force so that they can beat you in a couple different ways. San Francisco, it's really more of a one trick in that way.
Yeah, it was interesting because McCaffrey's only big game was against Chicago, where he had, I think, he had like 140 against Chicago. That was really his best game of the year. Now, you said it, and I'm with you. It's going to come down to the other side of the ball. They are vulnerable in the secondary. I mean, obviously they're banged up. They don't get a pass rush. All right, this is like, here you go, Jalen, right there on a silver platter, man. You got to be able to make plays down the field. You're going to have time. If there's ever a game where this offense is going to get well, it's got to be Sunday.
And it's if the schedules had been inverse, where you had the first half and the second half of this Eagles schedule, I would say, all right, they played some really good defenses down the stretch. You look at some of the defenses they played, but that has not been the case. They played against Washington twice. Obviously, with the starters just the one time, they scored 18 points. They played against Vegas. That Buffalo defense is leaky. Like some of the defenses they've played down the stretch, and we said, all right, this is a good opportunity here for the offense to get right. And they haven't gotten right. So I don't have a ton of faith that they're just going to come out and score 30 against this defense. Now, that said, this San Francisco defense, the second half of the year, terrible. All the numbers, you look at it, they are giving it up against the run. They're giving it up against the pass. You could beat them in a lot of different ways. And they're trying different things. When you look at Robert Saleh, the defenses that he has coached, you take last year out because he only coached the Jets for a handful of games. The previous four versions, 5 years, they're up near the top in quarters. Cover four, hey, we're gonna out execute. We're gonna play a lot of quarters, not a ton of blitz. We're gonna rely on the 4-man rush. Well, they've had to get away from it because you take away that centerpiece, that fulcrum in the middle of the defense of Fred Warner, out with a dislocated ankle. Remove him from the equation. Nick Bosa out with a torn ACL. First-round pick Michael Williams out with a torn ACL. You have young players at defensive tackle. They've had to play a bunch of different bodies at linebacker. You mentioned the injuries in the secondary. So they've had to kind of tinker with what they're doing schematically. They're still not blitzing, but they're playing different coverages. Can the Eagles take advantage? Right? And that is going to be the big thing. And now we get into, all right, how are they going to do it? What is the identity going to be? Is Robert Saleh going to lean more into what he's been traditionally, or are they going to play a little bit more man coverage, which they've done? In the past, you would say, you don't do that against Jalen Hurts and A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith. You don't play man coverage. Well, the Eagles haven't had the same level of success against man coverage this year. So I'm interested to see what San Francisco's game plan is. But right now, I can't go in and feel this is a great opportunity for the Eagles to definitely score 30. To me, this is going to be a lower scoring game, in the low 20s and the teens. And it's a race to 24, right? I'm interested to see how this one plays out.
It's funny, I said 23. I said, just Eagles score 23, they win. So that's kind of where I'm at. I put the ball in Jalen's hands. I go, because when he's not harried and not right, That to me is your best chance. Like you got
the
two
defense is
elite
not getting
receivers.
pressure.
You got Goddard. Put the ball in Jalen's hands, and you know what? Risk an interception or whatever it is. But you got to be aggressive with him. Give him the ball. I'd make this a Jalen game.
It's interesting because I think I'd lean the opposite and run the game because I think I'd want long sustained drives to keep the Niners offense off the field.
No.
I think that the big thing to me, VG, is like it comes down to, I think the way I'm kind of boiling it down with this offense, you get into like, all right, do you want to be like a high EPA per play, like explosives, or do you want to be a success rate? Like, hey, we're going to stay on schedule. I don't know if this offense is good enough to be a good success rate offense, like methodical, long drives, hold on to the ball. To me, this is more like, how do we get to 23? How do we get to 24, right? Like, get those explosive plays, find them whichever way that you need to be able to get them. I do think that when you're looking at Jalen Hurts and this offensive personnel, what we've seen over the second half of the year, if you're able to Frankenstein some of these game plans together, and you say, all right, we're going to lean into a lot of the empty stuff that we saw against Washington, right, and against the Raiders at times. We're going to lean into some of the empty stuff. We're going to get into under center, run game, play action, shot plays, find explosives. If you're incorporating the quarterback run game, they removed that from the Buffalo game, I think, because of the conditions and the nature of that football game. You get the quarterback run in there. All right, now all of a sudden, like maybe that's a formula to get you to 20. Now you let Vic do his work, and the Eagles get a win here, and they move into the second round. I think that's a formula. Does that build positive momentum here going into the rest of the playoffs?
Yeah, that's mine. That's mine. They don't have you think about it. They don't have a 4-minute offense anymore. Like so, the sustained drives, VG, like you talk about, that was for last year, right? Like that was the last year thing. Not anymore. And I don't listen. I think the Niners defense is great, but again, I love the Niners offense is great, very good. But I love this Eagles defense. I just think this Eagles defense. I don't fear them being on the field. I saw them stop the Lions. I saw them stop the Packers when they were healthy. All right. I saw them really even limit the Cowboys at times. Like they've gone toe to toe with great offenses. So that's where I put my faith.
Yeah. To me, like, I can't expect them to replicate to a T exactly what Seattle did from a production, like, efficiency standpoint. Like, that was the worst game of, like, the Kyle Shanahan era, especially with all their starters in. In terms of McCaffrey and Purdy and all that. When those guys are healthy, that offense does generally not look like that. So my guess is, you're not going to keep them to single digits. You're not shutting this team out. But can you keep them under 20, and then can the offense hold up their end of the bargain? That's the formula for success and how this team gets a win and gets into the next round.
The only bad thing is it's going to be warm. I wish it was cold.
Yeah, but maybe that plays in if you're getting the best version of Jalen, in that scenario, maybe that does help in that way.
Hey, all right, let's look at elsewhere around the NFC. So the draw itself is good for the Eagles in that you're going to either go to Chicago or have Green Bay come here if you win, and you only have to play one of the Rams or Seattle.
Right, and that's it's there for them. You mentioned it right before I came on. You said like, hey, like it's there, like you can see it. They can win these games. Do you have faith that they can do it? Like, it's hard to feel as confident as we did a year ago or, in 2022. It's hard to have that level of confidence, but it's there. Like, these are winnable games against teams that you should be able to figure out the matchups, to do enough offensively. It's just a matter, and we've said this all season is, hey, like, we know the offense is struggling, but we know the talent's there. It's the highest paid offense in football for a reason. Like, we know it's there. We've seen them do it. Can they go on a run? And even if you take out the schematic stuff, if we say like, hey, you know what, like the staff just doesn't have it, like it's not orchestrated the same way, they can't find that rhythm, they could still, like, Jalen can run around and make a play and throw it up to Devontae Smith. Saquon Barkley can get hit in the backfield, 4 yards in the backfield, spin off contact, make another guy miss and take off 60. Those plays exist. If you make enough of them, like, you can win the game. And so that when you get into the playoffs, those kinds of plays matter in those high leverage moments.
What do you think about the AFC?
Yeah, I think AFC, like, that game last night was wild.
That was awesome.
Like San Francisco research, and I was just like the back and forth nature of that game. I mean, to me, I'm looking at this. I agree with your take on Houston. I also look at Buffalo and I'm like, man, like if you are Josh Allen and you're Sean McDermott and you go and you're like, there's no Lamar, there's no Patrick Mahomes, there's no Joe Burrow. Like this is it. This is our chance. And now they have to go on the road. They're gonna have to do all that. But to me, like that's the other one where I'm looking at it like that. Like if Josh Allen and that offense if they could figure it out and the defense can just keep a lid on the opposing pass games, that's another team that's dangerous too. I don't want to play Buffalo either if I'm an AFC team.
You're saying though, like if they can figure it out, I'm not worried. There's teams who have figured it out. New England, Jacksonville. I don't know. I think Buffalo goes out first round.
They might, yeah, they might, but they've played New England tough the last, both outings this year. That's not a very like experienced team, so not that I'm saying like New England's going to get ousted first round either, but I don't know that it's going to be quite as easy as just rolling in there and saying, all right, we're going to take care of business here.
All right, so let me ask you this: the college football playoffs. Because we have the 5 days of football, which is going to be amazing.
Yes,
Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Oh, this is our last hurrah. After that, I start to cry. Indiana is the story of Cignetti and that team. I mean, they destroyed Alabama. And that's what dealing with the rest, that whole rust thing they have to fix. Because teams that are coming off a bye, it takes them 2 quarters to get any kind of rhythm, right?
For 1-7, 1-7 in 2 years,
right? It's amazing.
Yeah.
But Indiana's a great story, dude. They are, and I think they do it again to Oregon.
I think so too. And I think that if you're looking at these Final Four teams, like who do you have the most confidence in? It's tough not to say Indiana. I mean, obviously, look, they're undefeated. They haven't lost yet this year. They've already beaten Oregon once. It is tough to beat, a good team twice in a season. And Oregon did, give them a really good fight back in week 1 or back earlier this year, rather. I think when you're looking at Indiana, look, they run the ball well. Mendoza, especially when the lights are shining brightest, like he is nails, man. Like, look, he is the. This was the game. This was the time where they just blew out the other team, right? Like they boat raced Alabama. Now, if you look back, Ohio State, Penn State, Iowa, Oregon, late in game, they required late game heroics from Mendoza, and some of it was like, hey, they were in a hole because Mendoza threw an interception, because he threw a pick six, because he took some bad sacks. Like he's had to overcome that. It's tough to live life that way. So to me, like going into this one, that's an Oregon defense that's very opportunistic. It's an offense that wants to be able to run the ball, and they're going to control the clock. They're getting their receivers back healthier now. Dante Moore Jr. is a very good, very talented quarterback. To me, that game's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for the rematch, but I would be hard pressed to not pick Indiana in that one.
Did Trinidad have a shot against Ole Miss? I mean, against Miami and Payne?
I think so, and that is a fun story to root for as well, just because obviously with the whole Lane Kiffin of it all. But man, like that story like continues to linger because it looks like now like any of the coaches that are going to LSU, like they have to leave now. The only one that's coming back is the play caller. Like that's a whole mess. So that again, like that's not going away. Yeah, I don't know, man. Like I do feel like that it might be pumpkin time for them, especially when you look at some of the play. Like Chambliss just played out of his mind. Like it was just an unbelievable game. Just that's similar, honestly, to the Baltimore-Pittsburgh game that we watched last night, where the teams were just exchanging haymakers back and forth. But Miami, man, like that defense is legit. Carson Beck, like flawed at times, but get battle tested. We all remember last year, things didn't go well for them. He threw a bunch of picks, but the year before, like he was nails in some of those moments for Georgia.
I'm not the biggest Beck guy, but to your point, like Fletcher too. Like Fletcher's been great. Like I sold Miami short during this run, and like I was shocked that they beat Ohio. Shocked,
I picked them to beat A&M in the first round, and I'm kicking myself because I wanted to pick them against Ohio State, and I just didn't have the heart to do it. I didn't have the guts to do it, and I put it in the newsletter. I'm like, I think Miami. Like if it was like pick Ohio State to win, Miami to cover. Like that was kind of where I was at. And I should have gone all in on it, but they've got a good formula. I actually think they win. I think Miami. I think the 10 seed wins and they beat Ole Miss here, and it's a Ole Miss or a Miami versus Indiana game. Which, by the way, like Mendoza, is a Miami kid.
Yeah.
And grew up a Miami fan, like could have transferred to Miami, and they chose Carson Beck over Mendoza. So that would be a big storyline. It's certainly a motivating factor if Indiana gets to the final.
Yeah.
The whole Indiana story is nuts. 4 and 5-star recruits. They have no 5 stars. They got 7 4-stars. And Alabama had 64 4 and 5-star recruits. It's wild what he's doing.
Isn't it crazy? Yeah. He's and again, he's in obscurity. Yeah. Like his whole career was spent in obscurity, and he comes out and he's the best coach in college football. Now that Saban's gone.
And he's like saying, do you see him over the weekend? I think he said he's heard of coaches bragging about working till 4 a.m. and he doesn't get it at all. Like he's like a guy who has like, a normal work day, gets his stuff done and goes home. I don't know. He's like a total freak.
I know some coaches that could benefit from that advice.
Franny, great stuff, brother. This is it. Nut cutting time, baby.
But like you said, like we gotta like embrace this. Like
what?
Time's running out, man. Like we only have so many. This is the last one we have like this. I guess we got the next week. It'll be fun as well. The second round of the divisional round of the NFL playoff. But we have 5 days of great games of football. So we'll soak it up here for this weekend.
Yeah, because after that, I'm going to cry.
I know.
It's so great. Like I was watching all weekend, watching the games. Last night, Rodgers. Like it was awesome. Like I'll be honest with you. I found him endearing. I like him in Pittsburgh. If he had one more receiver, not DK, but a speed guy, I mean, they could actually do something.
Yeah. How about Gainwell too? Like Kenny Gainwell looking good. Like that was
out
fun
of the backfield. I mean, my God. They're great. They're fun. They're a fun story. I was rooting for them. I was glad they beat Baltimore.
And you got the priest on the field pregame. That's when he comes out. That was
dude, the holy word where he missed the kick. Who thinks you missed the extra point? You're like, oh my God.
Right.
And then he misses that kick, the rookie. Wow.
With all their kicking drama from Tucker to that point.
Yeah. It's the greatest reality show ever. Football, man. It's the best.
No question.
Love you, brother. We'll be reading you, following you, watching you. You're the man. Thank you, Fran.
Appreciate it, guys.
There he is. Franny Films.
Wow, I've never
the Xfinity mobile calling line.
Never heard of that idiom.
What?
Nut cutting time.
Oh yeah, it's one of those coaches things.
Yeah, I mean I've been coached. Never heard it.
Oh yeah, no, the playoffs. That's what they say.
You ever hear that, Tyler?
I don't think I've ever heard that.
No, really?
No.
No, it's a
now I'm looking at the origin. It's a difficult, unpleasant period.
A lot of coaches. I mean, that's I got it off of probably Andy. Spags, Jim Johnson, that group.
Oh man!
All right, let's take care of some business. We got Murph coming up, and we got some back in the day. We got the Pest of the week.
Oh, is it Petullo again? I don't want to be a spoiler alert.
I mean, he got the award named after him. My God. But first, how about these messages?
Hey, picture this. A fan cave that actually feels like your dream setup. And thanks to the people at Ashley, that could be real. We're giving away a $2,500 Ashley Furniture gift card. You can go big on a sectional, add some stylish pieces, or trick out your space for game day. It's all up to you, and it's really simple. You just visit ashleyfancave.com, see if you're eligible, fill out the form, and you're entered. It's that simple. Enter now, and you might be watching the next big game in a fan cave built by you, courtesy of Ashley. Hey, everyone's got their favorite hard tea. Well, let's talk about our friends at Crooked Tea. Because have you ever tried to turn the can over of your favorite hard tea and see what's inside it? You really can't. And you know why? You can't because they don't tell you. They actually hide from what's inside their tea. Crooked Tea, they're totally different. They brag about it. You know why? Because Crooked Tea, they use real USDA organic tea for real flavor with zero sugar. There's no fake junk hiding behind the label. They got it right there for you. What you see, well, that's what you drink. So next time you're at the store, try it. Flip the can over. If you can't find the ingredients, do yourself a favor, put it back. You don't want it. You don't want to put that inside you. Then grab a Crooked Tea. because it's zero sugar, real tea, and fully transparent. You know it, Philly. Real recognizes real, so why drink the fake stuff? Crooked Tea. The only thing better is a strip sack in the Super Bowl. Visit crookedtea.com and find a store near you.
How you feeling?
I feel good. Yeah. I mean, I'm a little worried. You and Franny saying, take shots, but I think that gets you in the possibility of a shootout, which I want to watch, but I think they have a less chance of winning a shootout. Yeah.
I mean,
I saw the Seahawks with okay running backs put up 180 yards on them, on the Niners. Like Saquon and Tank, they should be able to put up 180 yards on this.
What? When is this run game?
Well, I'm just saying.
What
I just saw
Kenneth
Walker the third and Charbonneau.
Gray Zabel, like they have a really good offensive line. I don't know. No, dude.
My biggest fear of
It's
anything,
about up
the
front.
one thing I'm afraid
It's about up
of the
front.
Niners is
Their-
Shanahan. I
their-
don't want him on the field. I don't want him.
Their front is again, Seattle's front's good.
It's
It's not about the name of the running
Shanahan
back
scares
jersey.
me more than anybody. I just rather the offense of the Niners not be on the field.
You have to be aggressive. You're not good enough to mount these drives. You're talking about long drives. When have you seen a long drive? They can't get a first down. They lead the league in 3 and outs, and you want a long drive?
Yes, please.
That's ridiculous.
I mean, that's what I want.
Well, okay, I want a lot of things in life. You ain't getting them. You ain't getting a long drive when you can't just get a first
Well, you're
down.
saying-
They didn't have a first down against Buffalo in the second half.
Yeah, and you're saying air it out. They didn't have a completion in the second half.
Well, you got to be able to throw. Jalen has to. I think it's got to be in his hands. They have a depleted secondary.
Someone will straighten. Murph will straighten us out.
I don't need to be straightened out. You need to be straightened out.
Maybe a little.
No, I don't. I watch these stuff. I'm a loser. All I do is watch this stuff. I'd rather coach this team than have.
I would rather you coach
than
this
have
team.
Petullo call plays.
Yes.
Let's go to Murph on the Xfinity Mobile call-in line.
It's time for our man, David Murphy.
There he is. Look at that. Looking good. College shirt.
What is he teaching?
Haircut.
Is he teaching class today?
Look at you.
Job
Murph.
interview? What's
Happy
going
New
on?
Year, buddy.
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Looking sharp. You got the nice shirt, button down.
Yeah, the hair's all
Yeah.
nice and tight.
The glasses tight.
I figured I'd shower for you guys.
Oh, thank you, buddy.
New year, new
Appreciate
me.
Well, here we go. Eagles Niners. We begin January, the playoff push. How are you feeling, Mr. Columnist for the Enquirer?
I think I feel the same way as I felt, pretty much all season. It's really going to come down to, first of all, the 49ers don't scare me at all. I mean, they're not the 49ers teams that we're used to seeing. Where you were going to have to fight and scrap and claw to score 3 touchdowns. I mean, this defense is beat up, and it's even more beat up after week 18. So we'll have to see. I mean, Fred Warner not being there has been a huge thing for them. Their cornerbacks have been bunk all season. They really just haven't been very good on that side of the football. I mean, we saw it a couple weeks ago with with Caleb Williams shredding them, and then we saw Charbonnet and Kenneth Walker gash them last week. So I think the Eagles should win. It's some bad juju not getting the 2 seed. I think. I think more than anything, that's what concerns me is I think they tempted the gods with how they played Week 18.
So you're thinking wins San Fran, and then you're worried about at Chicago if Chicago beats Green Bay?
Well, it's just I'm worried about Jalen Hurts in Soldier Field is what it comes down to. I don't think the guy's very good in the elements. I just don't. I think we've seen it time and time again. it's on him. I think if Jalen Hurts, they should beat Chicago. They're better than Chicago, but I don't know. I need to see Hurts win a game in that spot. That's really what it comes down to. I still would pick the Eagles, and I think that's what they were thinking. I think they were thinking they'd rather, would you rather face Chicago in Chicago or the Rams at home? I don't know. I think I'd rather face Chicago in Chicago, but you still have the possibility of the Rams now too. So I think it all depends on what happens in the, it really depends on, I think the worst case scenario, frankly, is probably Green Bay beating Chicago and then, the Eagles getting the Rams.
So they could play potentially Shanahan, Ben Johnson, McVay.
Yeah.
So here you go. To me, it's like, all right, let's see you do it, right?
Right.
So now, obviously, Vic Fangio is the guy, right? Like, he's the godfather. Like, you got to lean on Fangio. Mm-hmm. But the Sirianni-Patullo combo, here's your chance to see what you got. Like, here you go. You're going up against, potentially, the three brightest minds in the NFC, if not all football, with those three. You stack up.
Yeah, and I think that's actually the best way to put it, where it's funny because I really think that, if you put anybody but maybe the Rams, if you ask me how I feel about the game, that one game, I'm like, well, the Eagles should win. I think that they're the better team. I definitely think they will beat the Niners, and I think they should beat the Niners. And frankly, if they were hosting the Bears at home, I would say they should and will beat the Bears. The only caveat I have at going to Chicago is you're going to Chicago, and it's a tougher place to win than Lincoln Financial Field. But I don't believe in Caleb Williams yet. That team has proven me wrong to a certain extent. I mean, I never thought that they would get to this place, and look, he's gotten a lot better. Over the season, but I've seen so many times with him this year that and goal situation at the end of the Niners game, he just never makes that play. He's got something missing still, and that doesn't scare me. I'd rather have Jalen Hurts any day of the week over Caleb Williams right now. But in aggregate, if you're asking me what are the odds that they win 3 straight games against Shanahan, McVay, and Ben Johnson, that's where I feel, that's where my trepidation lies. It's I don't know. It's kind of, I don't know what the mathematical law for that is, but almost like a reverse gambler's fallacy, where like, any given day I'll take the Eagles, but will I take them 3 straight days? I think that's the odds are against that.
Murph, you being a strong voice in this town, where do you stand on the coaching staff? Like I just gave you those 3 guys. We saw Patullo on display yesterday, which I thought was, I didn't understand a lot of his game plan. I didn't understand his play calls. Sirianni, the whole rest. I mean, I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there, but these 2 guys, and Sirianni's won a ton of games, but I look at it, and I look at Patullo and the way this year has gone, an offense without an identity, now going into the playoffs, leading the league in 3 and outs. What should happen? What needs to happen?
Well, I mean, I think it all depends on what, in terms of long term or what.
What's your? Is it? Hey, you're going to be judged now through this month.
I think we're going to find out. I mean, look, Sirianni, look. I'm with you. I agree with a lot of what you said. And there's certain things about Sirianni that like you're like, man, that's not the characteristic of an NFL head coach. But at the end of the day, he's won a ton of games, and I think he individually has earned himself a fairly wide degree of latitude. And look, if they flame out, they lose to the Niners, or even to the Bears, then I think then the clock starts ticking on him again, where then he could be one more bad year away from them maybe going in a different direction. Patullo, look, I said this all year. I err on the side of your quarterback. Your quarterback makes the coaching staff look good, or he makes them look bad. And I think that's, I don't think Patullo is. I think there are certain guys, you name three of them, Shanahan, McVay, probably throw McCarthy in there, guys who like, you give them, a replacement level quarterback and they're good enough schemers and minds to maximize their talent. They're a force multiplier. I don't think Kevin Patullo and Nick Sirianni are force multipliers. In terms, they win with the talent they have, But I also think that's most guys in the NFL, and I think Kellen Moore was the same way. I think Kellen Moore was just a guy. I think Kevin Stefanski is just a guy.
I disagree there. I disagree with both Moore, Kellen, and Stefanski. I think they're both very, very sharp guys. In fact, I would call Stefanski. I already did text him. He needs to come home now and consult.
Tell him Dave Murphy thinks he's just a guy. What have they won? What have they won? What has Kellen Moore ever won?
Dude, have you seen concepts and you watch guys and you see what they do and what their mind is and I'm
just saying he's not. It's more about standards. I think my standards are probably just a little higher. Where
Dude, Bill Walsh isn't winning in Cleveland. Come on, no one's winning up there with that situation.
Kyle Shanahan, Ben Johnson, and McCarthy, and who was the fourth guy that we're leaving out? McVay, obviously. Those guys, it's just head and shoulders watching their offenses play, no matter who's at quarterback. Compared with some of these, it's nothing against them. I just think those four are outliers in terms of brilliance. I think there's nothing against Stefanski. I think he's at the top end of the guys, but he doesn't make you worse. There's a lot of guys that make you worse, but I just think I think Patullo is probably more than anything. It's about the quarterback. Go watch Trevor Lawrence, the touchdown pass he threw yesterday to, I don't know if it was Parker Washington, but it was down the middle, 25 yards in the air on a rope. It's a pass Jalen Hurts can't make. Go look at Drake May's spray chart, and he is peppering the intermediate middle distance with 15, 20-yard passes that are moving the sticks on a rope. Jalen Hurts can't do that. And as a play caller, you're very limited when you have a quarterback who just can't.
I don't know, dude.
But Trevor Lawrence has had multiple coaches. To say he's the quarterback, he's had multiple coaches who couldn't get him work. Liam Cohen's got a system down there now where he can make it work.
You're not listening to what I said. I'm talking about one skill, throwing the football, which is an important skill for a quarterback. And if you look at the play that I'm talking about, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. And you guys know Jalen Hurts can't do it. He can't. He has a weaker arm, and he's smaller. And Lawrence, you can say whatever you want. He can make the throws, that's and all I'm talking about is making the throws. And when you have a guy who just can't make the throws like elite level guys do, then you're going to be limited.
Yeah, I don't know.
Can Purdy make the throws? He doesn't seem to have an exceptionally strong arm.
No, I think Jalen Hurts and Brock Purdy are on the same level.
Yeah, I don't know, bro. I think your coach. I see what Ben Johnson has done with Caleb. Now, Caleb's got a gifted arm. He can make a lot of great throws, but the way he has nurtured him and brought him along and his play calling accents his strengths. I think the coach matters in a big way.
Well, okay, let's go down that road. Let's pull that thread. What are Jalen Hurts' strengths?
Well, I think he throws a great deep ball.
What's his biggest strength?
He throws a terrific deep ball. I think
or he can run, and when they
I think he should be part of the run game? Yeah, I do. I agree with you.
That's on him. He doesn't want to.
Yeah, but my point is he can still throw the ball down the field.
Yeah, he throws a great deep ball, but what are you going to just run 4 verticals all day?
But there's things that I need. If I had Ben Johnson coaching this team or Kevin Stefanski coaching this offense, I think it would run. I think Jalen would have more success as a thrower.
I don't know about Stefanski because I haven't seen a lick of. Again, he's been limited by his quarterbacks too, but I don't. I'm sure. I'm sure.
Whatever. I don't want to make this a referendum about Kevin. I'm just giving you. If there's another coach of a higher skill, I think you would see Hurts.
Yeah, I think
play better.
think if you brought Ben Johnson in here, the offense would be a lot better. The problem is, even if you get a guy like that, he's only going to be here for a year because he's going to get hired as a head coach. Now, honestly, the best thing the Eagles should be hoping for is the Dolphins to fire McDaniel or the Colts to fire Steichen, because having Steichen back here would be amazing.
Steichen's going back. He's returning. They announced
they already said that?
Steichen and Chris Ballard, their GM, are going back.
What about McDaniel?
No word yet on
I saw
McDaniel.
this morning that they're leaning that he'll return.
Yeah, he kind of saved his job there at the end, I think. And look, you want to talk about a guy who's totally limited by his quarterback. Like that's I think McDaniel's one of the brighter minds, in the game. The fact that he has put together the record he has with Tua. They're like 11 games over 500 with Tua in his career, and Tua stinks. All it took was Quinn Ewers stinks. He stunk at Texas, and they managed to win some games with him. And I think McDaniel's.
I don't know if I like this professional look at Murph.
Murph!
What? You think Tua's good? Tua stinks.
No, he does stink. I don't like Tua. I agree. He's done. I agree. I agree. We just your studious look.
He just lost the lens. He just lost the lens from those glasses. Are they fake glasses? Lens just popped out. That lens is tired of these takes and jumped out of your glasses.
Dude, Max just messes these glasses up.
Oh, dude, I had the same thing, man. My kids, get used to it, brother.
All right, I'll just do it without the glasses. He's taking the glasses off.
You have the good haircut, though, too, with the part like on the side. Looks,
Yeah,
you know.
He got a little fade on the side.
So, last thing on the Birds, and then there's a Phillies thing that I got to get to because I'm excited by it. Ultimately, do they get back to the championship game?
Yeah, I think odds are they do, and that's that's kind of the irony of all of this. And I've been saying it from day one. They're still odds are they're going to be in the NFC Championship game at the very least because they are who they are. They're still, with all their flaws. Yes, I still think they get back to the NFC Championship game. Part of our problem is last year's team gave us a baseline that's just completely unrealistic. And we're comparing this team to last year's team was just historically dominant in a lot of ways. Starting with the fact that they stayed healthy. And this team just isn't that team. They've been playing without Lane Johnson. Jalen Carter was playing with he couldn't even do a push-up for half the season. AJ Brown and Saquon, I still think are even if they're not injured, their legs are not what they were last year. But given all that, look, it's really hard to go into Buffalo and win a game like they did. It's really hard to go into Green Bay and win a game like they did. It's really hard to go against Ben Johnson and score 10 points and win a game like they did. It's hard to beat the Chiefs. Something like 13-2 they are against these elite caliber teams. Since Sirianni, since 20. I don't know what the number is, but fact is we've seen it. They win these games.
Because of their defense.
But that counts, and
No, I'm with you. In Vic weeks, to me, I think they have a real good shot at getting back to the championship game and maybe getting back to the Super Bowl, being led by their defense and their true leader, Vic Fangio.
Yeah, and I think this team, it's funny because I think that their overall trajectory has kind of mirrored the Chiefs in a lot of ways, and I think this team, chances are it ends up going down like that 23 Chiefs team that lost, 4 or 6 games down the stretch and had to kind of creep into the playoffs and then just went on a road run and won a Super Bowl on the strength of their defense, after for 5 years dominating on their offense. And that's kind of how it goes, where, if you dominate on offense, then the offense gets expensive and you have to build the defense, and then the defense dominates and then everybody gets expensive. And then, it's kind of the natural order of things. But I think that there's still, I'll take them. I would take them over anybody except for the Rams, I think. That's where or Seattle and Seattle.
I feel you. I think that's fair.
But yeah,
All
I think
before we get to the Phillies,
disappointed if they lose to anybody else.
Yeah, I could dig it. I'm with you. Before we get to the Phillies, you got to help us out here. We have to do the pest of the week. Evans Pest Control's pest of the week. Now, I want to nominate my Massimo, my son, who didn't want to walk the dog this morning because it was windy. It would mess his hair up. And I told him, you better get the hell out of there before I take your hair and I cut it with myself.
I like that.
Do you have a pest of the week?
Man, in my personal life or just overall?
Oh, sports pest.
Oh, okay. Because I got a long list of ones in my personal life. Pest of the week would be. Oh man, you really put me on the spot here.
I know. Just help. I mean, we could always go Petullo again. I mean, he's been.
It's named after him, though. The award's named after him.
That's a possibility.
I'm gonna think of one afterwards.
All right, you think of one. We'll talk Phillies. It's overtime. Overtime in the city, baby. Make sure you're watching on YouTube if you're not already. Like, subscribe, help us out, please. Hit the likes. We like that. So I love this idea of Donnie Baseball being the bench coach. I'm fired up over it. What do you think? You're a true baseball man.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, I think it's cool. I mean, Don Mattingly's a guy, at least of my generation, that it was like he was like one of the name. He was like a Ken Griffey Jr. kind of, where like when you first achieved sports consciousness, he was like, oh, Don Mattingly. I'm trying to think of who else. Cal Ripken was obviously one of them, but there were just certain guys where it was like they weren't necessarily the greatest, but it was like, oh man, Don Mattingly. I just remember him being a huge name when I was like, first or second grade.
Donnie Baseball, man, yeah.
Donnie Baseball, and look,
covered baseball in New York. I mean, the guy was God.
Yeah, and frankly, I think he's got a strong argument that people give him credit for the Hall of Fame. But regardless, that's a whole nother idea. But yeah, I think it's great. I think. Do I think it's going to matter in terms of wins and losses? No, I don't think really much in the way of bench managing matters in baseball. But I think it's going to be cool to see him there. And I think look, all experience is helpful, and Don and Rob go back a long way, and Mattingly's obviously going to command the respect of everybody in that clubhouse because even the younger guys know who he was. So yeah, I think it's great. I think it's cool. It's gonna be cool.
You know who else I like?
Like when the Phillies,
who likes Donnie Baseball?
Who's that?
How about a man named Bichette?
All right. Yeah. Look, I don't know if I buy. I don't know if I buy that's got any chance of happening. I don't.
Man, he's just on a roll today with this. Come on.
I don't know. I mean, it just does not fit with the it would come from completely out of left field. Put it that way.
His numbers aren't that crazy, the projected numbers. I mean, they're hovering around 30 mil, which is not crazy when you think about Nick and Taiwan coming off the books after this year.
Well, yeah. I mean, I think that they could. It's just more about the pattern. I just don't. They really haven't been connected to them. Everything I've seen and heard, and I've gotten no indication that they're going to make a big splash like that. But that doesn't mean it's not going to happen. It's just kind of curious. It's just you kind of get used to you kind of get a sense for like the timing of these reports and the pattern and the way things play out every off season. And I don't know. This just strikes me as
really.
Yeah.
Because here's the thing. Everywhere you look, now it's all internet stuff, so I feel you, and I've done this
John
stuff.
Heyman's the one reporting
I know, but it's like the minute the Phillies get Mattingly, it's like, oh, they get Mattingly from the Blue Jays. That means Bo Bichette getting real hot. If I told you, Murph, if they get Bo Bichette, I am fired up. 162. Yeah. They are like that. To me, is the move they need to make. You gotta get Bichette.
Yeah, I mean, I just don't think they're going to. I mean, and I think it really comes down to, he's a player who's in high enough demand that there's going to be a team that values him higher than the Phillies, just because they have more, they can accommodate it more. It's. I just don't see the Phillies winning the bidding. And yeah, I mean, if he really likes Don Mattingly that much that he's willing to leave money on the table to come to Philadelphia, then more power to them. It's just it never works that way.
Yeah, but if you want to win and beat the Dodgers, and like you need to do something else. Like we know that you still need to fix your lineup. You fix your lineup, you get Bo Bichette, man.
I agree, but you're talking as if it's like a grocery store where like you could just walk in and like.
You can. He's a free agent. You just got to offer him the most money. I mean, that's it.
But then Steve Cohen's saying the same thing. So at some point, it's
but the Mets stink. The Phillies are at least they're knocking on the door kind of still.
Well, but it all comes down to the money. I think the Mets. Look, the Mets know what they're doing. It wouldn't surprise me if they sign all these guys. And that's what this is all about. Just trying to squeeze Steve Cohen for a little more.
You know what the Mets don't have? They don't have Don Mattingly though.
Exactly. All right. Well.
So if the money's close, it's the Mattingly factor.
If that's the secret, then pay Don Mattingly whatever he wants, because that's a huge superpower. If you can convince MLB free agents to not take the highest offer.
Oh, buddy, you're dousing all my dreams today.
I'm with you. I think it would be awesome. I don't think it's going to happen. You know?
Fair is fair.
It's the shirt today. People are saying you got it's from the Dwight Schrute collection. That color.
It is. It's
Who said that?
A bunch of people in the chat asking if you're going to go work on the Schrute beet farm after this.
I am. I actually am. I'm going to do a little organic farming.
Oh, that's great. My brother, what's your duties this week?
What's that?
What are your duties this week?
It's all Eagles. Unless the Phillies sign unless the Phillies sign Bichette. I'm diving in. I want to watch. I'm going to be watching a lot of the San Francisco 49ers over the next couple of days, just because I want to find out. Like I just don't see how this Niners team can win. I mean, they've got no receiving talent.
No, that's not true.
Well, they have Kittle and McCaffrey, but
Pearsall and Jennings are good.
Nah, Pearsall's just a guy. Jennings,
he's not just a guy.
He got
plays
a bad
role.
knee, but
he's not just a guy. He plays a role. He's their speed guy down the field threat. He didn't play against Seattle.
He's played like 5. I had Ricky Pearsall on my fantasy team. I'm well aware of.
So you're just bitter. You're miserable and bitter because he's been hurt.
I am. All right. Well, what's he going to magically get better in a week? Like he didn't even play last week.
He could have if it was a day later. Yeah, if they played Sunday, they said he probably would have played.
Look, I think Kittle could scare you. But the Phillies. I mean, the Eagles have done a pretty good job against tight ends. I think. At least historically, they had. I guess Jake Ferguson had a big game against them earlier in the year. But yeah, I love Kittle. I think Kittle might be one of the top 10 football players in the game, just all around football players. But come on, Javon Jennings stinks.
No, he doesn't. It does not stink.
Look, if you don't, my whole thing is if you don't call a spade, then you're doing a disservice to guys who don't actually stink. Like if we're calling Juwan Jennings good, like we got to come up with new names.
Honestly, Murph, just trust me here. I watch this stuff inside and out. All right, like I trust me. He doesn't stink. There's roles on that. How many times have you? If I say this, I love you to death. You're my man. I don't have a life. All right, I watch this stuff. I don't miss a game.
I think we're talking because I watch a ton of it too. And when I watch Juwan Jennings, all right. He doesn't stink. He's fine. But I would take both Eagles receivers.
Like their offense is a good offense. Their defense isn't good.
We're matching it up against the Eagles. What I'm saying is I don't see anyone in that receiving core that can win against Cooper DeJean and Quinyon Mitchell. I just don't see how it's going to happen. I think
again,
we'll lock Juwan Jennings down. Again, Ricky Pearsall.
It's not like a 2-on-2 basketball game, right? Like, you got a guy like Shanahan who schemes guys open into space. It's not just man on man, right?
They just scored 3 points. They just scored 3 points and had 173 total yards of offense against Seattle. Like what?
There was one game against a really good defense without Pearsall.
Eagles have a really good defense. That's all.
I agree. I'm not. You just asked me a question and said, I don't know how the Niners can win. I just said, well, their offense is
a little dismissive.
Their offense is good. That's it. They have a good offense.
If they can't run the ball, they don't have a good offense. And they couldn't run the ball against Seattle, and they didn't have a good offense.
But their run game hasn't been there all year, other than against Chicago. That's it.
I know.
McCaffrey's more dangerous out of the backfield catching.
Which is why I don't think they can win.
All right.
Yeah, I think. Look, I think in Kittle.
I like the Eagles in the game too, but I'm not as dismissive of the Niners as you are.
You know, don't get me wrong. It's a more dangerous game. I'm more scared of the Niners than I was scared of the Packers last year. Put it that way.
That's fair.
The combination of Shanahan. I'm just saying, talent-wise, I don't think that they are not the Shanahan Niners that rolled the Eagles 2 years ago or 3 years ago, however you want to call it. Brandon Ayuk and Deebo Samuel are twice as good as anybody they have right now out wide. That's all I'm saying. They're not the same team. The offensive line is beat up. I assume Trent Williams is going to play.
Yeah,
but if he doesn't, then they absolutely can't win a game.
Yeah, he's playing.
But the point is, my only point is this: the nine. Like, put it to it, Kyle Shanahan deserves Coach of the Year for what he should be the unanimous Coach of the Year for what he has done with this 49ers team. Because look, I mean, Mac Jones looked like a Pro Bowler under him. I mean, he's a guy. He's a force multiplier. All I'm saying is, at the end of the day, I think the Eagles benefit is their talent, and when they go against a team that they have more talent than, they tend to win those games. And I think right now it sounds weird because the Niners usually aren't like that, and they're usually you're scared of the defense, and they've got enough. No,
their defense is bad. Their defense is a bad defense. So I think the Eagles can win.
I think
first to 23. Eagles get 23-17, 23-20.
I think I honestly don't know that the Niners are going to score the way you think they are. I would say, if I had to make a prediction right now, I would say 20 to 9.
20 to 9.
All
right.
I would actually buy the first number that jumped off was 17-6. So I'll go 17-6.
17-6. All right.
Yeah.
All right. You got it, my brother. Listen, always a blast. We love you to death. All right. Give Max a big Happy New Year hug from Uncle Ant. All right.
All right. I will. I will give him a big old smooch on the cheek, too.
Thanks, buddy. You're the best. See you, Murph.
Yeah.
We'll be reading you this week, as we always do. Murph on the Xfinity Mobile.
Murph is great today.
It's funny. I think I disagree with everything that Murph said, except that we both like the Eagles to win. I love him. Let me ask you a question.
Oh, yeah.
Because you did the Pest of the Week.
Yeah.
My kid.
Yeah.
He had the stones. My wife goes, walk the dog. And he went, no.
Oh, man.
She went, what?
Yeah.
And I heard it.
Were you in another room? Or?
No. I heard it. Like, I was coming in. And he goes, it's windy out there. It's going to mess my hair. Like he's Tony Manero, which nobody would get that reference. All right? You don't even get it? Travolta from Saturday Night Live. Don't touch my hair. I went, what did you say? I said, dude, you better get your ass out there and walk that dog before I get a pair of scissors and go cut your hair.
It'd be great if you shaved his head.
Are you nuts? You would say that? The two things my jaw dropped. You got to understand, like, life is not fun. All right, like I don't have a fun life.
Okay.
All right. I did. It was fun.
All right.
Now it's just a lot of
stuff. You're adulting.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
All right. So I coached 7th and 8th grade basketball, and then Saturday we had practice, and just to start practice, we run a drill, 3-on-2, 2-on-1.
Shooter stays back.
Right? Yeah. And, just to get the legs going, get the blood flowing, the whole thing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm standing, me and Coach Dan, coach the team. We're watching it. I'm looking at it. I'm like, dude. And he's like, this is horrible, right? Like, they're not making right passes, bricks, layups. They're horrible, right?
Yeah.
Pathetic.
Yeah.
I go, this is awful. I go, just end it. I can't watch it anymore. So he ends it, and he gets everybody, the kids together, and he goes, how'd you think that went? And one of the kids, who's a good kid, goes, yeah, we're good.
Now, was that kid, did he look good during the drill?
No.
Okay.
And I'm going, and Coach Sam went, what? He went, yeah, it was good. He's laughing or whatever. And then I lost it. I absolutely
You start
lost
Grace
it.
Santini in him, throwing a ball against his head.
I lost it. All right, I went bananas. Are you kidding me? He laid them all out.
Anybody cry?
No.
Okay.
You might have been close, but no.
Yeah.
No. But it's ridiculous. It's just like it's ridiculous. So and then I'm watching the game yesterday, and I'm watching Pachulo, and I'm going, "Where's Tank at?" And
Tank popped.
And you know
the one
me,
player
right?
who looked good yesterday was Tank.
I'm not run.
Right.
Yesterday, why would you have a makeshift offensive line and you're going to throw it 40 times?
I'm starting to think the combination of Patullo and Nick Sirianni, I relate stuff to the music world. They remind me of Bjork. I don't understand Bjork music. I don't like it. I don't get it. I don't even understand how it works, but she sells lots of records. It's like, I have no idea how this works with these guys, but they win. They're like my Bjork in football.
So I think they win because of circumstance. Like, I truly believe that they win.
I'm a victim of circumstance.
Because Fangio's a great defensive coordinator and truly has an understanding of the game beyond, like, he's a great coach. Great coach.
Yeah, he's got a lot of talent, too.
And Howie is a great GM. And I think that's why they win. And I think Nick, his greatest gift is he has the pulse of the players.
Yes, the players love him. He's like one of them.
So I think that's how they win.
Breaking news, the Raiders just fired Pete Carroll.
Yeah, well, you knew that was a
He
disaster.
come back for 1 year.
That was a disaster. Yeah, he tried.
The old Tom Brady ownership not going too well out there.
Yeah.
So we've had some late edition suggestions for Pest of the Week.
Oh, yeah, what do we got?
Or Pest of the Day, is it? Ringo.
Oh, man.
And
how many pass interference penalties? Oh, my God.
just throw at him the whole game.
Or just go like this. Fake.
Fake.
At 39 years old, I could have scored. Yo, Keely.
And Randy Rubart, I think he's the one. Someone nominated David Murphy as Pest of the Week. Oh, no, it's Go Birds DH. Named Murph Pest of the Week.
Oh, that's great.
There's so many comments. They're calling him Marty McFly from back where there's like the Lonely Boy and Polar Express.
It's the collars, man.
It was the
It's
collar and the
shirt
glasses. Oh, someone said with the glasses was the Fablemans. He looked like he came out of the 50s with the Fablemans.
Yes. That's a good one. He got the
Chow's going
50
off
styles.
with it.
50 styles glasses. I like it. I love the Murph. He's the best.
Oh, he's the best.
All right, let's go back in the day. What do we got there, homie?
We're going back. We're going back. We're going back in the day with True Mark. Oh, yeah.
All right. January 29th, 2023. Little Brock Purdy was here for an NFC Championship. And only got a little boo-boo on his arm from Hassan Reddick. And he only could play for 4. He completed 4 passes and was gone. And there's the shot that knocked him out of the game.
Do you remember who finished up?
It's the guy who played last night, right? Or yesterday.
Yeah, but also McCaffrey.
Oh, McCaffrey threw a pass in that game. Yes.
That was it.
Yeah.
That was it. Mm-hmm. Last time we were here, buddy.
Yeah, in a meaningful game. Let's go.
So there it is. All right, a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Sixers tonight.
Dude,
No
VJ
Joker.
over the weekend. Oh, my God.
Dude, he's the best. He's
Crazy.
That kid is awesome.
And, props to Paul George, too. He's playing perfect ball right now with
Dude,
us.
he is. Yeah. PG's playing really,
and he even said
really
he's
good
having
ball.
fun, which you
Yeah.
called. He's going to have fun. I think VJ and Tyrese Maxey's defense has kicked up a little bit. I think the Edgecombe effect has got these guys having fun and
Yes.
playing some defense.
They're a fun watch.
Yeah.
They're a
More
fun
people
watch.
are coming around. I was mocked by Sealski and Pat McClune when we were at Reading Terminal. Now, a couple people in the business saying they play like this, they can win the Eastern.
Well, I mean,
Yeah.
I told you that. I
Yeah.
think that, I mean, look around. It's not, there's not a lot of talent. I mean, you got Detroit, Knicks. I mean, these Celtics, these teams aren't that good. I mean, Detroit's the best team. Orlando.
Right. Oh, did I miss Tyler? You might have been working. Did I miss Murph saying Sidney Sweeney's mid?
I didn't see it in the chat. I didn't hear
No,
him say.
Chet saying he heard. He said it.
I did not hear him say
So
it.
what?
No.
Sidney Sweeney's mid.
I didn't hear him say that.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Really? That's surprising. Anyway.
Oh, I think Randy was saying Murph was just crapping on all kinds of people. He said that he would imply that Murph would think Sidney Sweeney's
Okay, yeah,
mid.
that's right, Randy. There you go.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
That makes more sense.
All right. Well, that's going to do it for us. Everybody have a great day. We love you. Go Birds!
Go Birds.
We all silly like the mayor.